This is welcome back to the longest podcast in the world. This is Mudwire.
This is Reggie.
Okay, so let's not waste any time because we got a big list. I have 17 pages of notes.
17 pages.
I may have gone a little bit too far in some places.
Thank you, George Lucas.
Do you think George Lucas would have made Neo support? That's what these cards feel like to
I
me.
think he would have made the support before Neos support.
We have to show Neos as a child before he turned to the dark side. Neos is a funnier character than we've ever had. It all centers around him.
And in this case, it kind of does.
God damn.
This is Neos support.
This is the Star Wars prequels of Yu-Gi-Oh!
He's here with us in spirit.
In Neo Spirit,
Oh,
Elemental
wow.
Hero Spirit of Neos is a level 7 light warrior and can summon himself when an opponent's monster declares an attack, and he gains battle protection, and when summoned he can grab a back row that mentions an elemental hero by name specifically or poly, and during the main phase you can shuffle him to the deck to summon a normal elemental hero, which will generally be Neos. This guy is okay, but you'll notice something about his summoning condition, in that it's completely butt-fucking insane.
It certainly is. Why did they do this? We don't know.
My name is Kazuki Takahashi. I did this. I thought it would be funny. Fuck you.
Thank you, Kazuki Takahashi. I mean, you kind of have to play him, but do you really want to play him?
Well, we'll get to... Well, there's some other support that kind of gives him context if you're a crazy person, but...
The hero deck is already stacked as it is. Like whenever this support gets announced, I do worry about the hero players that have to like find more space to just mash these cards into their deck.
It's a really weird scenario, and I think their solution to this time was making them all bad. But the next card is one of the three monsters in this is Elemental Hero Shining Neos Wingman, which shows you the direction this support decided to fucking go. And he's a level 8 Light Warrior Fusion who refuses to be outdone by DPE. He refuses and fails. He needs Neos and a fucking Wingman Fusion monster in order to be summoned, and must be Fusion summoned. And if he's specialed, you can pop cards your opponent controls equal to the number of different attributes on the field. He gains 300 attack for each monster graveyard, has effect destruction immunity, and if he destroys a monster by battle, deals burst damage.
Well, let's get it out of the way. He's not a good fusion monster, but he is cool.
Don't use the word cool and Neos within the same mind space.
No. Yeah, but look at the design though. He's sick.
He kind of is.
He's really cool. It's like the problem is the whole Wingman thing. On the one hand, Wingman is now considered an archetype. But on the other hand, you've got to use a Wingman monster, which means you've got to run fucking either Wingman himself or Shining Flare Wingman.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. There's a reason you
Yeah.
can play Wingman, but it's...
No. We're not even 5 minutes into the podcast and we're already just struggling with the top minds of Konami have truly.
Yeah, you
boggled
can
us.
use this in And the last monster in this wave is Crosskeeper, who is a level 2 Dark Warrior, and you can send him from hand or field to the graveyard to summon an Elemental Hero or Neospace from hand or graveyard, but the effects are negated if summoned from the graveyard because Konami hates you. If you special summon an E-Hero Fusion while he's in the graveyard, you can banish him to draw 2 cards and place 1 from your hand on the bottom of the deck. He's not bad.
No, this one's actually passable. I'd play 1 or 2. Not in a hero deck, maybe, but definitely a Neos deck, because just drawing cards is good.
Yeah, it's, I mean...
There's no two ways about it.
I think he's worthwhile in hero decks just because he can give you a little bit of extra extension if you really need to. Because keep in mind, Stratos is a soft, like, he's not once per turn. So if you have another Stratos in hand and you get, like, fucked or something, you still have the opportunity to make a rebound.
Isn't the effect
Only from
negated,
graveyard.
or is that only from graveyard?
What?
Okay. Yeah, no, I can see that.
Yeah,
like
so
him.
he's
Yeah.
he's fine. I think he accomplishes something, which is more than I can say for EN Engage Neospace. It's a normal spell that fusion locks you. It's a normal spell that fusion locks you, so already heroes don't want this. And I know a dude who's done like testing with it, and he's a good player, but even he's very on the fence about this card in terms of hero. You can send a Neospatian and an Elemental Hero, one from hand and one from deck, to the graveyard to special a Neospatian or a level 5 or higher Elemental Hero from deck. And if it's Neos, give him 1,000 attack. And then after all that, you can add a Polymerization from your deck to your hand. Okay.
Isn't the poly search mandatory?
Yes! And you will notice that is the
Ooh.
primary reason why it is very difficult to use in Neospatians.
Yeah, you don't want to hit that poly because otherwise you literally have a complete brick in your hand. Yeah, I've tried using this even in just pure Neos. It's not as good as you want it to be.
Yeah, it's like... The only upside is that this is one of your few ways of getting Spirit of Neos onto the fucking field.
Yeah, but then once again, we've just talked about, is it worth running Spirit of Neos?
You kind of have to in like pure Neos. It's
If they came with a way to put poly back into the deck to then search again, it'd be fine. But since there's no way of doing that,
or if Neos wanted to run poly, then this would be fine. But like, Neos doesn't give a shit about polymerization. Like, it has like 2 built-in fusion spells already. It doesn't need polymerization. It doesn't want it. It's too awkward most of the time. The most you can make with it is Brave Neos, I guess, but...
yeah, you can make that, or you can make Grand Merge. But better than that is Instant Contact. But this is primarily how you get in that Wingman out of your extra deck.
Yeah, it's basically just like Fusion Retort, but for but for the bad level 7 or lower Elemental Hero or Neospatian from your extra deck. It can't attack. Its effects are negated.
Unless Neos is in the graveyard.
Yeah, it can't attack. Its effects are negated, and it returns to the extra deck during the end phase if Neos' white ass isn't on the field or in the graveyard. This card...
There's one more important detail about this card that we're not discussing.
Don't mention the next card.
No. Just so there's someone missing from.
We're gonna mention the next card.
No. There's someone missing from this card.
Oh, that's.
There's someone missing.
Yeah, there's a certain airliner that's.
If you look closely, this iconic scene from the opening of one of the seasons from GX.
It's all anime openings. I don't fucking know anymore.
There should be a wing Neos man.
Then there's a weird Wingman.
I don't know his name because my lawyers won't let me say it.
Yeah, there's currently a plane threatening my house. Lyle! They hit the Arcana Force! They hit the seal of the Calcos!
Fusion Over. This is another not good one. I don't know. I don't like this one.
It's not good because it's just a straight minus when you could be playing like Neos Fusion.
Yeah.
So Fusion Over is a quick play that targets a monster on the field, reveals an E-Hero, Neospatian, or level 10 monster from hand, deck, or extra deck, and if you use the targeted monster as fusion material this turn... No, contact fusion doesn't count as using fusion material in the TCG Lamau. You can treat it as that name, but send the revealed monster to graveyard if you have Neos on field or in graveyard. Otherwise, if from hand, shuffle into deck. This is useful for exactly one thing, and that's the new Wingman. But... I feel like you're better off, like, just paying fucking 1,000 for instant contact.
I think you're right.
If you want to talk the worst card in this wave, though, EN wave.
Hey!
That was unintentional.
How bad is it?
It's really bad. So let's talk about what it is first before I break apart this rancid turd. EN Wave is a continuous spell, and if an elemental hero is used as fusion for a fusion summon and banished or in the graveyard, you can special summon a Neospatian or Neos from deck. And if a Neospatian or Neos is shuffled from field or graveyard into your deck or extra deck, you can special summon an E-Hero from graveyard. So, the first effect is useless because it's particularly relying upon you using polymerization to fusion summon in a Neos deck, which is fucking stupid. The second effect is deceptive in terms of its use. You'd assume that you could use this to recover after a contact fuse, but truth be told, you'll most likely be emptying your graveyard in order to do that. Like, if you contact fuse by doing something like Miracle Contact, since actual contact fusing is still unreliable since only a few cards facilitate it. This is bad. This is really bad. It's trying to force this weird amalgamation of Neospacians and heroes, and it's a stupid idea.
It was never going to work. The two play styles are just like diametrically opposed.
It's truly bizarre how you can look at something like the combination that they did for UAs and FAs and
They nailed it completely.
yeah, and Raid Raptors and PKs, and both of them work. It's like, oh, these complement each other pretty well. You could reasonably build a hybrid build, but each of these work very comfortably in their own decks as well. And then you look at this, and you realize how much more ironic it is that the character who used both these decks specifically, these were both used by the same guy, and they have less synergy than Birds and Knights.
I think the problem as well here is because the way anime works is essentially just it's straight up Highlander format. One of every card unless you have a special reason.
Yeah.
This shit doesn't fly.
There's one more card in terms of the Neo support that I do want to talk about. And this one's actually really interesting. Favorite Contact. It's a null trap that specials a fusion monster from your extra deck by placing materials on it from anywhere but deck onto the bottom of your deck, and if you place Neos, the monster cannot be returned to the deck. So I like the idea behind this one at least. It gives you some recycling, can brute force some monsters out if you really need to, although I don't think it's technically a fusion summon, which can fuck over how some work. And the issue being that there's kind of only one real way to grab this, but there's also another certain card that I have to talk about in the context of this support.
Yeah, I think this one is funny if you want to do a Cosmo Neos meme build, and that's as far as I'd go with it.
Yeah, but the issue is that like a lot of this really relies on you either opening a 2-card combo or Engage specifically. And again, Engage is not something you want in a hero deck. In Neospacian, it's... But here's the thing that I need to mention now about this. There is one other particular card that needs to be talked about in the context of this support that is not actually in the same set as all this. It's... I don't remember what fucking set this is in, but... Wake up your elemental hero.
Oh no, this wasn't from a set. This was I think this was a promo.
Yeah, but this is something it's with a few other promos that we'll talk about later. But
oh no, it's not. It's the it's that box thing. I don't know what it's called in the OCG, but it's like
the big boy box.
Like, yeah, the big boy box of generational support.
Yeah. So let's
I hate this card's art, by the way. It fucking sucks.
I totally agree. I don't like it when like. I'm fine with spells and traps or like just the EDs like Generation Next being just like, oh, burst Trickster's butt. That's fine. I'm okay with that because that's like not a monster. But when you make an actual monster just like a traced over anime still, it's like, okay, you have deprived me of the ability for my eyes to see a cool new character.
Trix's ass is not a monster. No, mine's more in line with just like, here is monster. It is group of monsters. I'm slowly starting to resent this trend. But Konami, please stop.
I agree with that. But this card I have to talk about now just because it provides that much context. He is a level 10 light fusion that needs an elemental hero fusion and one or more warriors. Has a 2.5k attack. And he must be fusion summoned. Gains 300 attack for each material used for its summon. And can make a number of attacks on monsters equal to its mats. If it battles a monster, after damage calculation, destroy it, then burn your opponent equal to its original attack. And if this, and this is the meaty part, if this fusion summon card is destroyed, special a warrior from hand or deck. So
any warrior?
Any warrior. So the thing that hero players have figured out to do, not only to use this, but to make the newest wave of support actually kind of useful, is you can pop this using DPE.
Yeah.
Meaning that you can summon any warrior from deck. Now, normally you'd be locked into heroes at this point, but here's the thing. Spirit of Neos is an elemental hero. Are you beginning to see where I'm going with this?
You know what? I'm going to be honest and say no.
Okay, well, that was a good talk we had.
Thanks for nothing. No, tell us, what's the rub? What? So Spirit of Neos.
And then you can grab Favorite Contact, the trap, meaning that you get some massive recycling for your grind game. You can get another body onto the field pretty fucking easily. All this off of Wake Up and a very small engine of Spirit of Neos and Favorite Contact.
Okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah, so Wake Up Your Elemental Hero is actually a really interesting card in that regard, if only because you can proc it by yourself.
I wish if they wake up their card artist to make a better looking card.
Can't wake up.
Save me. It's fine. It's Neos support. I don't have any major complaints apart from like say maybe EN wave and Fusion Over.
I'm really mixed on these because okay, let me say this. Using Favorite Contact to go into Cosmo Neos and Pure Neos is really fucking funny, but so many of these are really, really awkward. Like it's hard to get Spirit of Neos out, so getting to the new back row, and like 80% of this wave is back row, getting to Spirit of Neos is pretty awkward because there's only one card combo, and it's a 1.5 card combo that facilitates it. It's
also just the general consensus of hero decks already being just completely stacked, like both deck and extra deck. There's so little room to wiggle. You can't entertain silly things.
Yeah, like, I mean, Crosskeeper is nice for pure heroes, and again, Wake Up makes Spirit of Neos and one copy of Favorite Contact pretty viable. But it is a very awkward kind of deck.
Well, better look next time.
Sorry.
If we keep our game on, will we move on to another?
Let's talk about overeager Tanukis first, not because it's in line with everything else, but because it's right here on my notes, and I don't want to forget it.
Yeah, this was announced like what shortly after the hero support.
Yeah,
so I guess that it's in the chronological order of things. That makes sense. Yeah, no, this is really good.
Yeah, it's really interesting for ritual decks. It cannot be attributed in a monster zone, but allows you to mill from the extra deck once for ritual summon. Someone probably wants this.
I've been testing this in a variety of decks. Megalith has been quite successful because you can send
Herald
Arclight for Herald Arclight for level 4s. And it doesn't really matter if it stays on the field because it's level 1, so you can just turn it into like a Link Karibo or a Salamangreat Almirage.
Yeah.
Even the bigger monsters like level 8s, and as long as the level like has a useful thing that you can send from extra deck to graveyard, so like level 6, 4, and 8, you will get a lot of advantage out of it.
Yeah.
However, I can't say whether or not it'd be better than running something like Manju or even Incantations.
It is hard to say. Sorry. But I think after that are Vernalizer Fairies, aka Engine Decks Refuse to Die.
They had me up until I realised what was going on.
They tricked you.
And I was like, well, yeah, no, it was all an illusion, just like springtime
And Wall of Illusion. who can bounce your monster with its 1850 defense.
It's still a good card in this day and age. You just haven't realised it yet.
Are you okay? Do you have
No.
brain damage?
Yes.
It's okay, me too. That's why I play Mech Lords.
So these Vernalizer fairies are interesting because they have a host of effects that revolve around being discarded, mostly sending themselves and another monster to activate effects. So, for instance, Forest and Awakening sends itself and another monster to send an Earth monster that can be normal summon or set from deck to graveyard, and special summon an Earth monster with a different name from that monster that's sent from the graveyard, and then from there on it Earth locks you. It is interesting because you can summon back what you've pitched, including Forest and Awakening. So there's a host of things that you can run like a rank 4 engine or play Earth Machine like a normal person.
Yeah, they're all pretty interesting. Like I've heard some debate on this in Earth Machine because they want to use a Machina Unclasper, and I think Ruin Force as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Things might be changing for Earth Machine with some future support that we'll be talking about, but
yeah,
I can see why there'd be a little bit of conflict, but the option's there.
Yeah, they're certainly interesting, and I think in decks like Karakuri they might be really fascinating to work with, because you got they've all got a discard effect and an effect on the field, and like you said, Force and Awakening mills, and on field they can target a Vernalizer Fairy, double its attack. Hills in Bloom, these are all Earth Fairies, by the way, which is something you're gonna hear a lot throughout this episode.
Yeah, it's actually quite an emerging type.
Fairy and Hills can discard to search a Vernalizer Fairy card, which I feel like these would be a good engine were it not for the idea that you kind of have to go minus to search things in it. So I feel like Force and Awakening.
There is a card that kind of alleviates this, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, but you primarily want to focus on like one card combos with these. Yeah,
the level 4s are definitely the better of the supports.
Yeah,
I'm not too keen on level 3s. Fairy and Mountain. Oh, sorry, Melting Snow. Sorry.
Yeah, Mountains Melting Snow just draws one.
You just draws a card, and I think Flowers and Fields gets a card back from graveyard to hand.
Yeah. Well, in Earth, yeah.
These two aren't as important, and the fact that the level 3 is a little awkward.
Yeah, because they also give targeting and destruction. No, targeting, protection, and then lets one do a second attack. But these are all for Vernalizer Fairies only. But Flower Crown of a Vernalizer Fairy, I believe, is a continuous spell. And it makes all Earth monsters you control treated as Vernalizer Fairies. And if a Vernalizer in your hand would discard itself once per turn, you can make it only discard itself instead.
This is unprecedented. I don't even think there's not been many like effects in the game that completely blanket change monsters you control to archetypes. Like it's normally reserved for like certain stealing effects.
Yeah, like the DDD trap.
Yeah, Galaxy Eyes do it sometimes.
Oh yeah,
I think and I think sometimes it's type like zombies, but this is completely off the wall.
Yeah, no, and
opens up a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, it's really interesting because you can theoretically use some of the OTK effects of the Vernalizer Fairies on field if you're running this, but all this makes me really question what is the actual size of this as an engine, because it's not really. You do have to go minus to actually get to Fairy of Hills and Blooms without hard drawing into it.
Yeah, this is also what's made me scratch my head, because like I can see like outright the effects are good, but once again, like just tossing a card to do thing, doesn't always get you to where you need to be.
Yeah, it's...
I think more important than anything, the traps might be the be all and end all of it, because I think one of these is a bit more standout than the other.
Yeah, because there's two of them. Calendar rotation, which targets a Vernalizer in graveyard and adds it to hand or specials it. And during the opponent's turn, if you have no cards in your hand except the turn this card was activated, you can banish it to revive as many different Vernalizers from graveyard as possible and bounce them during the end phase. It's interesting, but seems built...
This one's okay.
Yeah, it seems more built for a pure
Yeah.
version than anything else.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I couldn't even tell you what a pure version of this deck would do.
It's best.
Like, I don't. Yeah, it feels like it's very, by itself, very low impact. I think like it needs a kind of a bigger monster it can like play with, like all like the battle effects that they give, like the double attacks, the pierce. Is it piercing as well? Or there's some protection. There's definitely one with 2 attacks.
Yeah.
And some targeting. So they need, what they really need is their own boss monster, but they've not been given it.
It's the Guard Dragon issue.
That's. I mean, we need to like. I'm trying to think how to put it into words where it's like, wow, this is really good as a concept, but there's missing that final to make it stand out on its own. But I think the trap is a step in. The other trap is a step in the right direction. Therion Flower Buds.
Yeah.
So you target cards you control. Your opponent controls the number of Earth monsters you control with different names, especially some from the graveyard, and then you return the Earth monsters and the other monsters to the hand. So it's kind of like a Dragon Maid tidying.
A little
for
bit,
Earth
yeah.
monsters.
Some...
Although this one does have the caveat that these monsters have to be special summoned from graveyard. So this then calls into question its usefulness.
Yeah, it's... Again, like, a lot of this is hard to judge because as an engine, I don't know how well this deck works, because it will eat away at your hand size, because, like, using 2 of these, 2 Vernalizers in a row, turns your 5-card hand into a 1-card hand. And that's assuming you have this stuff to ditch.
And I think what's most important is, like, these guys were also announced quite early into the lifespan of Power of the Elements, and we are yet to see anything like interesting being done with them.
Yeah.
Which doesn't completely write them off, but it certainly is telling.
Yeah, it's... These are certainly a deck that exists, and that's all I can really safely say about them for now. They're not bad.
Yeah,
They're not...
You can hear in our voice how, like, invested we are in them, because they're just...
Yeah. But after that, there's a few more Grand Creators cards.
Punk.
Hey, Punk.
Punk. So this is interesting. So they got a new synchro, which is a Dragon Drive. So you pay 600 and then add a level 3 Psychic to your hand or send it to graveyard. Then if it's in the graveyard and your opponent activates a card or effect in response to a Punk card you control, you can then special summon it from the graveyard.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, where the fuck was this when Punks were announced? Because this is really kind of needed.
It was in Power of the Elements.
Oh, thank you, Konami. Thanks once again. Thank you for nothing.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's...
The constant drip feed of just like all these Punk cards really makes me wish Konami would rethink their
lives
approach to deck build packs and how they structure them and how they put support in, because this is just too little too late, really.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting if nothing else. But the next card for Punks is the one that I think actually goes a long way in fixing their primary issue of dying to fucking Ash. And that is Punk Jam Extreme Session, which is a field spell that can banish a Punk card from graveyard, especially summon one from hand. And if either player plays life points to activate a Psychic Monster's effect, you can draw one.
Damn, that is an Extreme Session. That is a twice per turn effect as well.
Oh shit.
It's up to twice per turn. So even if it gets ashed once, you can go for it again.
You can always tell
And
when
this-
Konami is desperate to fix an archetype when they start doing the Earth's Arctic radiation shit.
It really is just a terrible, terrible thing they do.
Imagine being
And
at Bears.
shows they've not learned anything. And it's this also like because it's what I'd categorize as a good punk spell. It completely throws the ratios into question because you wouldn't really run any of the punk wagon, which searches the spells. You'd run like probably one if you really wanted to, but
Yeah.
now you may want to run more than that because this is a really good field spell.
Yeah, because now they've got this. They've got an actual extender, so they've got some ways to play around a single disruption now. So congrats, you have now achieved the level of mediocrity we had all hoped for.
Yeah, their extra deck still is not good. I think they need a few more extra deck monsters to work with, but you know, I think they're being used as materials for VW monsters,
Oh,
VW decks.
my favorite.
They deserve each other.
Which one?
Ghost Sisters are back in town though.
Exosisters! Malfa can summon herself if you have no monsters or only control Ixies, and summons Elis specifically, but Exosister locks you, and then has the same effect as the other girls, except now you can do it too! So you
Oh,
can
wow.
remove the opponent's graveyard shit.
Great, I guess.
Called by the
I mean,
grave as the play
it's-
started.
It's nice enough. I think one of the problem with Exosisters was that there just wasn't enough monsters to put on field.
Yeah, it's yeah, I mean part of their big issue is that like they are good at the idea of countering specifically graveyard decks, but that's all they're good at.
Yeah, but I think then again you're underestimating like in modern Yu-Gi-Oh like how many decks are graveyard decks. Like just being in the graveyard in general and like molesting your opponent's graveyard is still a pretty big deal.
Yeah, but Fluanderies can get by like unmolested, so
Yeah, well, Flaundery's my nuts.
you go for that every time and it's never
It is fucking comedy genius, and I refuse to believe otherwise. I hate Flaunderies, by the way. Fuck those birds.
Yeah, I can feel that. I'm going to locals tonight, so
Give him a Lancia for me.
update this with my fucking win-loss record.
And I'll
0-4.
laugh. I will add a laugh track to whatever he gets.
Okay. Then there's
And the other one is Latania.
yeah, which sounds like an Italian dish, but it's a normal trap that if all you control are Exosisters, you can pay 800 to banish a card your opponent controls or in their graveyard, then Ixie summon an Exosister using monsters you control or non-target banish card the opponent controls. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, you could banish two monsters. One's targeting and one is non-targeting, so
Don't
I
get
think
it
you're
mixed
better
up,
off.
stupid.
Don't fuck it up. But yeah, this is a little more underwhelming compared to Punk, who got like some really high impact stuff. This is just like, just keep on trucking, Exosister. Do your best.
You found a man with a broken car in the desert. You gave him a tire and you left. It's improved, but he's still dying.
He's not solved the issue.
Yeah, you gotta get the shotgun for that. Anyways, next up is something that I think we were both surprised to see in this set.
Gem Knights.
Yeah, like because in this occasion it feels like they are where they shouldn't be.
Yeah, so like in the lore for Gem Knights, they're constantly mentions, oh, there's the 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 whatever pyroxene cores, and oh, the Gem Knights have them. This new legendary duelist set is called Pyroxene Duelists. Put the Gem Knights in power of the elements.
Something went horribly wrong during development, but I can understand why, because there's just not enough cards to justify putting them in Pyroxene Duelist.
Yeah, I guess it's
Like,
also
what,
just that thing
three,
where it's like
three cards.
I think so.
4. Sorry,
4. Yeah.
Yeah. Two main deck, 1 fusion, and a spell
Yeah.
card.
I get why they're not in Pyroxene Duelists, because technically they're not really like a They were game
Anime
first
deck.
and then anime second. But yeah, Gem Knight Quartz is a level 4 Earth Fairy. Okay. She can discard herself if the opponent has a monster to set a continuous fusion spell from deck and lock you to Gem Knights from the extra deck. If she's used as a fusion material and banished or sent to the graveyard, she recurs a dead GK. She's good.
Good.
There is exactly one worthwhile spell to set with this, and we'll get to that.
But there's the other monster is Brilliant Rose,
Yeah.
which is always counted as a Gem Knight, but
Not a
discards
Melodious.
Gem Knights or Melodious to special summon it from hand, and then you can send a Gem Knight or Melodious from the extra deck to the graveyard, and its name, type, and attribute become that monster's name. I don't know how to feel about this because it is at the end of the day it's field presence and it can change its name and the like, but
I think it's good because it lets you make the link.
okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
That's pretty much all you need, because the link is still to this day pretty fucking insane.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it does because it discards it triggers it will trigger things like Obsidian and
yeah. Small girl.
Lazuli.
Lezubus.
Lazuli.
Lebuli. Lebusi.
Gem Knight.
Gem Knight Lebusi.
Oh god. That's enough about this one. But yeah, make the link. Burn your opponent.
Do whatever else you want with your life. And now here's a card that I thought was underwhelming, but has slowly caught my eye more and more. Gem Knight Lady Rose Diamond. She is a level 8 Earth Fairy fusion with 2700 attack and needs a Gem Knight and a Fairy. The first time each Gem Knight you control would be destroyed by an opponent's card effect during each opponent's turn. It does not. Okay. And during your turn, when an opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish a grave. I wrote GK for Gem Knight, but I keep reading it as Gravekeeper.
You see, this is the abbreviation issue. There's so many decks that sort of are now starting to overlap on names where you'll just keep tripping yourself up. So
GK. Gravekeepers. Or maybe it's Gem Knights. I don't know. Okay. During your turn, when an opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish a Gem Knight from your graveyard to target and destroy a face-up card your opponent controls. Now, this may seem specific, but here's the thing.
Just target an opponent monster your opponent controls.
It's not hard once per turn. It's not soft once per turn. It's not once per chain. Meaning that you can potentially eat through an entire swath of negates if the opponent doesn't realize what's happening. It is funny as fuck!
Yeah, I think these kind of effects are a lot more devastating than you first realize. But as soon as your opponent starts putting down monsters and you start popping their shit and they literally cannot do anything about it.
Yeah,
then,
Yeah, it's like, this is such a funny fucking card because it's like, oh, you want to negate me? Say goodbye to your board, you son of a bitch. It's such an interesting way to eat through an opponent's like monster negate board, and all you have to do is sneak by like their one Omni negate or fusion negate, and then you start making plays with your fucking monsters. And it's like, oh, you want to Ash Blossom my Link too? Okay, goodbye your board. It's such an inherently funny fucking card. I love it so much.
And I think it also helps that it is slowly but surely steering Gem Knights away from burn.
Yeah,
I think that's the important takeaway from this.
Yeah, you will notice that most of these cards rely specifically around working on your turn, which also goes for the next card, Scattered Fusion, which is the only thing you're going to be grabbing with Gem Knight Quartz, because it's a continuous spell that, if the opponent controls a monster, you can fusion summon a non-rock Gem Knight using monsters from deck, and a Gem Knight locks you. If it leaves the field, kill what you summoned. You use this to summon Lady Rose Diamond, and then you win.
Well, that's the theory anyway.
That's the practice.
It's no Brilliant Fusion, and I think my heart weeps that we'll never get Brilliant Fusion back. But I understand.
Yeah, they kind of have to do it this way to keep you from getting like 2 normal summons and like a light mill. But it's genuinely, it's a really funny card for Gem Knights being the way they were intended to be. It's so good.
Finally, after all these years,
Gem Knights are back, baby. They never left.
they wouldn't leave.
Oh, and up next is this is a card that you find very interesting. Crawler Soma, as in Soma nuts to your mouth.
Yes, this is crazy. This complaint came completely out of nowhere. So this thing's like it's a level 6 Earth Insect. And basically, you Book of Moon your own monster to special summon it from your hand, and then you can't manually change that monster back with just by changing its position. You have to use a card effect if you want to get it back to a face-up position. But more importantly, during your main phase, you can reduce it to 4 levels. So, and for every 2 levels you reduce it by, you can summon crawler monsters with different names from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Whose levels equal the level reduced in a face-up or face-down defense position. That is actually insane. Like, you cannot believe how much life this brings to just a variety of flip decks. Because now you can run crawlers as an engine. You laugh, but this is actually possible now because there's no restrictions. Aside from not being able to manually change the battle position of the monster you set, and you have 3 monsters on field.
I know it,
face up, face down. It don't fucking matter. It works in pure crawlers. It works in mixed variants, and it's just a generally good engine.
Here's the thing, though. If in 2017 you told me crawlers can be a splashable engine, I would have smacked you upside the head.
Kind of, but that would have been in 20 what? When did Gearsu get announced?
Gearsu was like
I want to say 2021. 2021. Oh Jesus, I'm old.
He was Ignition. No, he was Eternity Code.
Yeah, and that's my only exception to that, where Gearsu could have been used as a vessel just to send Mind Meld and summon Deus Ex Crawler from the graveyard. But that's beside the point. No, but no one would have ever predicted crawlers. This is what we call in the business the ultimate apology card.
There's a reason people are calling this the create a card set.
Yeah, like there's so many examples in this set of just one-off cards that are just completely mental, and I'd even go so far as to say undeserving of being this good. And this is someone who plays crawlers.
Just hope this doesn't get abused in other decks.
It'll be used, but I can't see it being abused because at the end of the day, you're summoning 3 monsters and you're having to set a monster you control. So you essentially sacrifice a zone to put 3 monsters on board, and I'm gonna touch wood and say I don't see that being too out of control in at least this year.
I mean, the one thing I'd say is that like getting 3 bodies onto the field is still pretty cracked. It's hard to like in fusion decks. I think this could actually be worthwhile, but I don't know.
It depends, because at the end of the day, the bodies you add to the field are they're crawlers. So, when you say a fusion deck, what are you playing? What are you playing that can use crawlers?
Bee troopers.
That's true, but you also have to set a monster you control.
That won't stop me.
Actually, no. That's a good point, because you can tribute the set monster with an Invincible Atlas.
Do you have to tribute an insect?
No, I think it's just monsters in general.
Yeah, because if it's a generic monster you can tribute, then yeah, that's actually a really good.
I'm just looking at it now. You can tribute 1 insect. No, it has to be an insect.
Okay, so that like keeps that under. At the same time, though, that's like still a really interesting engine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm happy with it. It's a good card, and in tandem with Gearsu, crawlers can actually really pop off, and they're now more realised than
They've unleashed their power limiters.
Seriously. Also, it's fucking huge as well. Like what, 2100 attack, 2500 defense.
I am Avrem now.
Crawlers were kind of missing an attacker, so this that wasn't a link. So this kind of helps, and it means you don't have to put your Deus Ex crawler into attack position, which is scary. Please don't kill my skill drain, please.
No, please don't. But speaking of like creative cards, Mathmech Circular.
Uh-oh.
He's a level 4 light Cybers. Reggie, what are your opinions on soup?
I think it's delicious, but it gives me the shits.
What's your opinion on data soup?
I think it's delicious, but it gives me the shits.
I feel like that's the best answer I'm going to get from you. So Mathmech Circular is level 4 light Cybers that can mill a Mathmech for cost to summon himself, but you only get one attack this turn. If another Mathmech is summoned to your field while he's there, search their back row. This is a perfect fucking card for Mathmechs.
Yeah, this pretty good.
An insane card for Cybers.
It is just all round excellent because you get to send what, Sigma?
Yeah.
And Sigma summons itself from deck, and away you go. You've got yourself your Laplation, your Ambulation, you got your Magmas, and
Yoshin.
You not quite your final Sigmas, but you know.
No, that's right. You still have your normal summon with all this too. It's like
that's true. You could make final Sigma, but why?
You cannot be ashed. They cannot stop you. The only thing that can cease this is Gamma. Actually, is that even a summon condition or is that an effect? Hold on.
It is. If it's cost, it'll just send and summon.
Yeah, no, I'm just checking his summon is. But yeah, no, okay, so Gamma's the only thing that can like stop this if you're going first. Look at that rainbow motherfucker. He's perfect. I love him.
Yeah, excellent.
Dude, he's been drinking every flavor of Mountain Dew to power his CPU.
Any other creator cards that we missed?
Gunka and Suship.
Oh yeah, no. This is interesting because
this is unprecedented.
I've just come off the coattails of just like playtesting this, and this is wild. So like, this counts as the normal monster in name only. It doesn't count as a normal monster itself, but it counts as the name in hand, deck, or graveyard. So in deck,
but
so if you activate something like Painful Choice, the one that sends a normal monster to add another one with the same name, you can send the Gunkan Suship normal monster and then add this instead.
Yeah, but like here's the really interesting thing though. It's not a condition; it's an effect, meaning that you can have technically 6 copies named Shari in your deck. You can run 3 of the vanilla and 3 of this. It's no Harpy Lady bullshit no more. This is real shit. You can do this.
Yeah, no, this is excellent. I think this is how Konami needs to kind of handle normal monsters centric decks going forward. Like I'd love to see something like this in Magic Key.
Yeah, like I feel like they're not going to do it for anime decks, like because they want you to use Blue Eyes. They want you to use Neos.
No. I think that's fair enough. But in a situation like this is pretty good. And I think I was always thinking like, if only I had more like of the normal monster in my deck, and this is just straight up an improvement.
Yeah,
because it's one of the rare cases where having six actual copies of a card kind of helps.
It's just like, it's good. I like it.
Yeah, we haven't even discussed the effect. Like, this thing has an effect as well.
Yeah.
Apart from the counting thing. So, you reveal the vanilla in your hand, special summon
him and Gunkan from deck.
Akashari, and a Gunkan from any Gunkan from deck, and then you Xe summon the corresponding ship based on their effect text.
Yeah. The only
So-
downside is that it doesn't work with the level 5.
Does it not?
No, because it negates the effects of what it summons.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I think the level 5 is awkward enough on its own that anyway, I only run like 2 of them.
Yeah, it's...
But you want to make the ice fish the Shirao class one anyway, the one that searches the spell
Yeah.
just to get deeper into your deck. But you can essentially, like, it's now so much easier to build the full board of like having all 3 ships on board. Even if you thought you've bricked.
It's the full course, you son of a bitch.
No, very good card, and I'm very pleased to see it.
Yeah. The next most important created card is Stray Mokimoki.
This is also just completely unprecedented. I can't believe they allowed a card this powerful to exist, personally.
I know, it's really disgusting how they make cards like Appaloosa, Borreload Savage, and Stray Mokimoki. It really shows that they're really out of touch with how to balance their game. I've seen a man beaten to death with a Stray Mokimoki card in the streets of Africa and Amsterdam. It's honestly a disgusting damnation of the human... This bit's old. I'm done. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Yeah, basically, in the field or graveyard, it's Mokimoki, and you pitch it to add a Mokimoki card from deck to hand. So as it stands, it only adds Mokimoki Smackdown. Oh shit, he's actually gone. I'll keep going. Oh hey, you're back. I'm just actually telling people what this thing does.
Gross.
But yeah, this is the Akashari scenario where you now have 6 copies of a monster. So if you make your Mokimoki King and your Mokimoki King is destroyed and doesn't miss timing, you get 5 you can literally fill a board full of Mokimokis. and you laugh, but like in the obvious synergies there, you pitch the Stray, get the Smackdown, activate Smackdown, fusion, crash the King, and you have 5 3k beaters on board. It's not perfect. It's never going to win you any games in a real scenario, but you know.
I just appreciate them.
It's true to the spirit of Mokimoki.
I appreciate them going the Skull Servant direction. I love this kind of shit. I want a Morin Fen deck. That's a sincere desire.
Oh, I don't care about Morin Fen. It doesn't have anything going for it. Mokimoki had, as much as you want to poo-poo it, it has a strategy. Maroon Fen is just the meme monster.
Well, so is Skull Servant until they made King.
Yeah, but they did that way earlier into the life cycle of the game, so it's kind of fine.
I would be okay.
I just hate Maroon Fen. Stop talking about Maroon Fen.
Are you more of a Shape Snatch man?
I am a Shape Snatch man, but I also don't want to save that support.
That's morally wrong, but okay. Let's try and get all the single like nutty cards out of the way too. Before we get to the new archetypes or the legacy support like Ice Jade.
I must admit, I'm having more fun talking about these than the actual archetypes, and I think that's kind of concerning for the state of the game going forward.
Yeah, don't worry about it though. Yeah, I think the other big like deck update. Well, let's talk about Rikka's first, as much as I don't want to.
Oh yeah, they got 2 new cards, didn't they?
Yeah. They got Rikka Snow Princess, who is from Frozen, and is a level 4, and during the main phase can special summon itself from hand and lock you to plants while she exists. And you can shuffle her from hand or graveyard and tribute a plant to negate a monster effect while you control a Rikka. Good, but Plant Link be looking hungry.
Yeah, this is another case of can't have nice shit.
No, but
like
soup decks can.
And I've always like expressed my distaste for good stuff and pile decks.
Yeah, it's petty and stupid, but I don't really like pile decks. It's a thing where it's just like I feel like the reason archetypes were invented were to give each deck kind of their reason to be their own thing in a game without costs. And
I get that you want to run decks that like don't strictly follow an archetype, but like follow like types and attributes. But I think the way pile decks currently work, especially things like based, as much as I hate to call it that, that it really goes against the spirit of it.
Yeah, it's. I don't mind some occasional jank, but when every deck is becoming, like, I'd say everything's becoming Scythe DPE, but at the same time, I think there was like a recent event. I took a picture of this. There was a what was it?
Get that up on screen.
Yeah, let's see. There was a recent event. I want to say it was, what was this? Okay, this wasn't the World Championship qualifier. World Championship qualifier actually had like Sword Soul coming back into the fray.
Is this YCS Charlotte by any chance?
I don't think those.
The adventure DPE mirror matches.
Well, I think it was at something called Gamer's Choice.
Or is this like not DPE adventure related?
No, this is very DPE adventure related. Everyone except for like Sword Souls, I think, had this because there was a Sword Soul deck. There was Despia branded with DPE. There was Despia branded with DPE. There was fucking Rose Dragon with DPE. There was another Rose Dragon with DPE. There was Drytron. There was Sky Striker, and there was Earth Machine. I'm surprised that Rose Dragon is a thing, because those cards have always seemed
Rose Dragon Adventure DPE is like probably one of the best decks in the format, I think. This going forward. Yeah, no, that was that mirror match I was talking to you about.
I genuinely didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
I'll have to ask you about how that works after this, because I genuinely was not aware. I'd always shit on Rose Dragons.
Yeah, they're I think it's like 60. It's a 60 card deck. That's the thing.
No, the ones I'm looking at the top, they're like 45, 44.
No. The one I was talking about was a 60 card deck. And I think the only reason it's 60 cards is so you don't draw into your DPE shit.
Yeah, it looks like they're using Herald to search the Dark Magician ritual to then search Magician Souls.
Yeah, that's what I saw on the that mirror match.
Oh, is this straight up what Based is?
I think this is what Based is. I think
you're right. That is awful to say. Jesus.
I think you're literally describing Based as we speak.
I didn't know that Rose Dragons were the fucking dragons in that. Jesus.
In this episode, Mudwire has the terrible realization of what Based truly means.
Wow, Based is cringe.
It really is. But it is.
We broke new ground.
Definitely more interesting than Rikka's.
Rikka Arrival is a field spell.
The old faithful transition.
It's a
field spell.
It's a field spell that isn't a location, so it's bad by default. If you control a Rikka, you can set their back row from deck, but a plant locks you. If you attribute a plant you control to activate a Rikka, you can instead tribute an opponent's monster. It took them this long to give this deck a fucking identity. These motherfuckers came out in 2020, and only now do they have an actual thing to do.
Yeah.
Fuck Rikkas. I hate these shits.
I want to like them so bad, but
it's the only interesting thing about them is that they're water plants. Everything else is their boring waifus that I can't distinguish. They have the shittiest tribute-based deck in the game. Their rank 8 is worse than fucking Dingirsu. I hate these things. Fuck them.
Yeah, but every rank 8 is worse than Dingirsu.
What about Hope Harbinger?
Fuck you. Let's move on. I don't want to have this conversation anymore.
Vendreads are back, baby!
Oh god, yeah, Vendreads. Hell yeah, motherfucker. Let's go. This was like rumored and then it was real, so I'm happy.
That's a double R. But fucking Scar Vendread is just Mr. X. There's no getting around it. This is just straight up Resident Evil.
Yeah, and on that basis alone, you should play 3.
Yeah, he's a level 6, and when sent to the graveyard, searches their back row. You can banish another zombie if a monster on the field is tributed while he's in the graveyard to revive him and lock the Vendreads while he lives. He's pretty fucking good. Vendreads have weirdly good back row, except for Nightmare.
Yeah, we don't talk about Nightmare, but
Nightmare!
It's surprisingly out of left field how good it is for a main deck Vendread monster just to do something. Like most of them require being sent to the graveyard first, and then this is shut up. I've lost my train of thought.
He's
you know
also
what I mean. But
yeah,
he's more proactively of a threat.
Yeah, he's also one of the few that
person.
doesn't give an effect on field, which is fine if he's going to actually do something.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's what I was getting at. His corresponding ritual card, however, is not as good, but you still have to play him.
We'll get to that. Scavenger is a level 8 ritual, and he's going to give it to you. During the main phase, as a quickie, you contribute a zombie to give him attack equal to its attack until the end of the turn. The key word here being the main phase, and not the battle phase. If it was the battle phase you could do this during, that would be fucking cool, actually. Because it would give this deck some OTK potential. It's like, okay, I run over this guy with them Vendread shitface, and then I suck up Vendread shitface and get you shitfaced. But
yeah, I think this is that is just like a weird oversight that I can't believe they got wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically it can like get around targeting some stuff. Like if your opponent wants to like, I don't know, mind control your fucking Slayer for some reason unknown to man, then you
just chain block or just dodge effects. Yeah, I guess. And then when it's in the graveyard, you can just special summon it as long as you control Vendread Slayer.
But he's banished when he leaves because his deck cannot.
But in theory, what you could do is if you control Executor, which counts as Slayer on field, you can make Zombie Vampire and then detach for the mill and revive.
It's
Excuse me.
It's too bad that Firewall Dragon got that lobotomy.
I disagree. Fuck that guy.
I mean, you're right, but it does like mean that any application this guy could have had in the Link build is kind of like fucked.
Yeah, but it's the general consequence of other Link builds that aren't Vendread.
Yeah, but anyways.
Ravenous Vendread is the ritual spell.
Their third fucking ritual spell. 3
ritual spells, and they're
and
all
they're
three ofs.
They're all it's weird. It's like not a one of these is bad. It's like how did you achieve this, but you still can't make a ritual monster?
Not even Necros runs like 3 of their ritual spells. And either way, this one it special summons a Vendread from hand, deck, or graveyard in face down defense possession. Except Scavenger, so if you've already, which you've already special summoned and sent to the graveyard, you can't revive. It's kind of annoying. But then after you've done that, you can ritual summon any Vendread ritual summon from hand or graveyard. Once again, Vendread's just having that on them is always nice. Attributed by attributed monsters on the field, including the summon monsters, whose ritual levels equal or exceed the level of the monster you want to summon. Yeah, Scavenger's important, and I hate that they've done it this way, but it's purely for pre-prep.
Let me tell you, it's the funniest shit in the world reading this and trying to think to myself, why did they do that? And then seeing someone point out so you can pre-prep it, and then it's just everyone collectively going, oh. Because it's you now have 2 pre-prep targets in this deck. That's insane.
Yeah, it beggars belief. Like, you can run prep, you can run pre-prep, you can run a full ritual package, the full zombie package, and they still suck.
Yeah, it really is. We live in a Vendread society.
This is a Vendread moment, certified.
Certified Vendread moment. Being bad.
They have a special summon from deck. How are they so bad?
Today I will be a Stardust zombie. It's weird because like this wave, except for Scavenger, is good, but they've got this weird thing where they still refuse to give them any banish recovery.
They have a little bit in is it Anima?
That doesn't count.
No. Fine. I suppose we'll move on then. Vendreads. They got their apology, and I'm okay with that. Do FAs again, Konami. That'd be good. It'd be nice to see.
I think the last major like create a card thing before we start getting to the unique decks is Melfi's.
Oh yeah, the cutest support ever released.
Yeah, aside from Danger Tsuchinoko.
You're just biased though.
Yes, I am. Do you discard me and enter my magical realm?
No, stay limited. So from here we have a tuna monster, the first ever Melfi tuna.
Put him in a can. Put him on a salad.
Which is funny because he's a seal, and they eat it.
Oh no, not again.
But so this one it functions a little differently. So if a beast monster you control is returned to the hand, so if your Melfi's come back to the hand, he special summons himself, and then immediately after he does, you can synchro him using Melfi's in your hand and this card on field. Now I've just learned that you can summon any synchro monster. It doesn't matter what synchro monster, but it has to be using that and Melfi's. You can summon Flower Guardian Light Flare. Level it's a level 10 synchro monster that requires 1 tuna and 4 non-tuna monsters. So on your turn, you can summon Solemn Judgment on legs.
Why is this the second time this has happened with this deck? They can turn their Ixies into fucking Zeus, and now this. Why are big robots a thing with them?
Eldritch horrors beyond our comprehension. Yeah, like
Japanese cards.
I was just running through like all the things you could do. Oh, you could do Herald. You can do the new Synchro. You can make a Barkion. Other level 8 synchros. None of which are particularly good for the strategy. But then this one came up and I was like, oh really? Don't mind if I do. 5,000 attack beta, and on the next turn, if it survives, you can make Ronin Raccoon Sandayu and have 2 5k beaters on the board.
Oh god, holy shit. That is such a gamer moment.
That is a certified Melfi moment. a lot of moments in this episode, but this one's my favorite.
Melfi Wallaby can bounce itself to special summon 2 from deck. All the rest is standard Melfi fare.
This is good. I like this because it doesn't negate the effects of the monsters it summons. So you can then carry on with your Melfi plays. If you didn't get the seal, you can get the seal and make your light flare. If you can get your cat and your puppy.
Well, no, because the seal needs to activate from hand to synchro.
Oh yeah, no shit. I'm an idiot. You get the cat. You basically just get cat and puppy and search the seal. Beg your pardon.
This is even describing this deck is like cute.
It is cute, and also
the
art for Wallaby is also incredibly cute. There's little baby ones, and I can't handle it. So I'm going to move on to.
Cute. Let's talk about staring contest.
Melfi staring contest is very cute. It's also like it's lazy card art, but in the best way possible.
This is the greatest art in the game aside from Tsuchinoko.
It's just zoomed in on his fucking fat little face.
Hey, how you doing? You want to have staring contest?
This is no Tenki, but it's kind of close. So you reveal a beast monster, add a Melfi with a different name from the deck or graveyard to hand, and then put the reveal monster back on the bottom of the deck. So this is good because sometimes you just have the wrong thing in hand, and even if it's a case of just like putting back a target for Rescue Rabbit that you run one of.
Yeah, and you can also you can reveal Melfi's in hand during the opponent's battle phase in order to lower their monster's attack by the combined total in hand.
This is a little bit underwhelming. Even though the drop is permanent, it's in a scenario where monsters can leave the field at any time to be used as material for other things. It's just not good enough.
Yeah. And the last one is Cheerful Melfi's, which is a generic level 4 synchro, and one special that targeting bounces a face-up monster.
I like this. This is solid. And then if your opponent special summons a monster, you can bounce it back and summon a Melfi Xyz. This I'm not too keen on because a lot of them have detach effects, and none of them really have a continuous effect, do they? That they can take advantage of.
Do any of them have any reactive effects? I forget.
Not that don't require materials, but I'm also not a huge Melfi player. And at the same time, Melfi Sealy also has an effect to, during your end phase, attach itself to a Beast Xyz material. So it's that whole combo notion is just a little bit too slow.
So Melfi of the Forest, at least, can, as a quick effect during the opponent's turn, target a beast XYZ you control, bounces the extra deck, and summon level 2 or lower beast monsters from your graveyard up to the number of materials the monster had. So it basically seems to be taking the strategy of how much of my opponent's time can I waste.
Yeah, but at the same time, if it's got no materials, it can't use that effect, so...
Does it? Hold on.
Yeah, no, it says up to the number of materials it had. And when Cheerful Melfi summons it, it has no material.
Oh, okay.
So you have to wait till the end of your next end phase to attach Sealy to it. Or wait. Yeah, there's no. You could do. Oh no, tell a lie. Melfi Mummy.
Oh, actually,
attaches...
Joyous Melfi's doesn't need to detach materials to work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, during opponent's turn, you can target a beast XYZ monster you control, so you can bounce itself and then special summon level 2 or lower beast monsters from graveyard up to the number of materials. No, wait, you are right.
Yeah, but the other one, the original Xyz monster, you can attach quick effect, a beast monster from your hand or field. So I guess it's not completely wasted, but also at the same time you need to consider that it's just a normal special summon from extra deck. So it's if it goes to the graveyard, you ain't getting it back.
I think it's okay in the sense of it being generic at least.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think being able to just like if you any time special summon these on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, single targeting bounce is not too bad, honestly, especially if you can pull it off with a quick play, kind of with seal.
All in all, I rate 10 out of 10 for being cute.
Yeah. I think that's most of the creative card shit, except for, let's see, except for Scareclaws.
Oh, we finally found out what Visa Starfrost's true purpose is.
The link one that searches the field spell.
He's off to chibify the universe, one planet at a time.
I need the smallest harem you have.
So first he chibified Hitler, and now he's off to greener
water
pastures.
Hitler.
There's this collection of tiny Hitlers.
I'm on a quest for the 7 Hitlers. Please leave my store.
the chaos Hitlers.
Can you feel Hitler?
Oh God! Don't answer that. If yes, seek help. Although I have been thinking about Visa Starfrost, and not in a
I've been thinking about Hitler.
I've been thinking about Visa Starfrost. He's a level 6 synchro. We're about to talk very soon about a set of monsters that also he's related to.
Yeah.
And so he's off collecting these people and who happen to be level 4 monsters. Are we going to get a level 10 synchro anytime soon, do you think?
Maybe. It's going to be interesting to see how these decks all develop, because this looks like the new lore they're doing now.
I think, and this is a crazy thought, and it's going to be a level 10 synchro that banishes these Link 1s as fuel for either negates or pops. Watch this space. Anyway, this thing's... We've not even talked about this thing yet. It's
This is going to be World Legacy.
Lichart, and it just searches the Scareclaw field spell, and then if you control Visa Starfrost, you can summon it from the graveyard, which helps make the Link 3. Is that once per duel? No, is it not? Is it once per duel?
It's once per duel. The revive is once per duel. Yeah.
Damn, son, I didn't even realize.
If these are all going to be, I hope this is another World Legacy situation where it's like they created this archetype, but they realized they had to staple them to actually good things. So they just end up being an incoherent mess by the end of it.
This just feels like a B story because the Albaz story is starting to drag on a bit. I think they want to.
Wait, no, the B story was crawlers.
No, I'm talking about this series.
I'm talking about insect types.
What are you talking about insect type for?
B stories.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, dude. Anyway, he's all right. Play him in your Scareclaw deck if you play Scareclaws. I don't.
There's also Scareclaw Straddle, which is a quick play that either honests your monster's stats against an opponent, or negates a target against a Scareclaw or Visas. This is fine.
Yeah, it's very Warrock Dignity sort of, but not quite as good as Warrock Dignity.
It's dignity.
It's dignity. God.
I think that's mostly it for like the straight created cards, but there is one power card in this set I want to talk about real quick. Artemis Slay.
Yeah, let's talk about Artemis Slay.
This is a very interesting form of removal. It's a normal spell that the opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to, and allows you to mill an extra deck monster, then spin one extra deck monster your opponent controls with the same, like, card
Hello,
type.
secret rare. It's
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way around it.
Look forward to spending a lot of money for this, even though it doesn't quite deserve it.
Yeah, it's
In the meantime, just sit on your dogmatic punishments.
Yeah, it's very interesting in terms of removal, because this can, in a format where DPE is live and kicking, this can potentially remove 2 threats, because you go for the DPE, they cannot respond with anything, DPE goes back in the deck, and you mill Natis, and then Natis can remove another one of their threats. You've eaten through 2 of their disruptions with 1 card.
I just hate that they had to make something like this to like break through boards like DPE, Griffin Rider.
I'm more fine with this than I am with Droplets. Droplets feels much more comparatively broken because of how flexible
Yeah, but
it's
also going to cost as much as Droplets anyway. So
yeah, but
it's essentially a side grade at this point.
Yeah, I do agree with that, but I think because of its format-dependent nature, I prefer it to Droplets, because Droplets is basically always live. Any deck that wants Graveyard Setup will run it, and it's an insane power card that does so much in once and doesn't have... The only drawbacks it has is kind of making you go minus, unlike DRNM, but it's so fucking easy to use, it just doesn't matter. You can dodge targeting with it, it's stupid.
I guess. I think you can argue these cards till the cows come home. They all generally serve a similar purpose, and despite how many of them there are, I think Dark Ruler No More is the only one that's sort of come into like budget territory.
Yeah, which is good at least. I'm glad at least one of these has kind of come around, because it's Dark Ruler No More is more about setting up the back and forth again, which I think is better because it turns off your ability to damage them, but it gives you a chance to dismantle their board and build your own board, which I think is more interesting.
Absolutely, and this one's good because at the end of the day, sending cards from extract to the graveyard is always funny.
Yeah, that being said, speaking of going second power cards, there's another one that we need to talk about, and this is another guaranteed secret rare. Kurikara, Avatar of the Immovable, disgusts me. It is a level 1 fire fairy and specials itself by tributing all monsters your opponent controls that have activated effects in the monster zones this turn. Keep in mind, this is a kaiju condition. It gains 1,500 for each monster tributed, and during the end phase, steals an opponent's monster from the graveyard. This is fucking ridiculous in terms of board breakers.
Yeah, like I thought Nibiru was bad, but this is also equally as just.
This is just you have a board, I win button. I genuinely hate that.
Like don't get me wrong, I hate having to break stupid boards as much as the next guy, but
this is too far, I think.
It is kind of pushing the limit of what's an acceptable retaliation to these kinds of board states, because this, if you can chaff an entire, because you have a choice, you can either chaff your entire board, like negating things that your opponent does, and then they just kaiju your entire board and swing for game, or your opponent doesn't activate anything and you have Lightning Storm and you just let Lightning Storm ride.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm fine with things to a certain extent like Lightning Storm, although it does kind of bother me that you can activate 2 of them technically. But Lightning Storm, individual kaijus, I think stuff like Dark Ruler No More and Artemis Slay are much more balanced in terms of board breakers. This is just, you want to play the game? Okay, I have a fucking 6k beater now. That
I
just
think
seems...
this one's a bit more like, I've let you play the game this time. It's almost an inverse of the same problem.
Yeah. My problem is that, like, with things like Nibiru, you can argue they're oppressive, but there's outs to them. You can deal with Nibiru in meta decks by saying, oh, I can make Baron by, like, 4th summon. I can make Crystal Wing by, like, 5th summon. You can do things to Nib. You cannot do anything about this. When this happens, it happens, and it will generally be minimum 3k.
Yeah, it calls into question. It makes you think about when to use your monster effects, but at the same time, it's also I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I think in these kinds of formats it's kind of necessary. But at the same time, you do have to wonder how did we get to this point?
Yeah, it's... I don't know. Power creep in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is such an interesting and weird kind of thing to analyze because it's... Sometimes you do have to wonder how much higher we can go, and I don't really like the prospect of the game rebooting itself either because it's like, oh, every single deck I have is worthless now.
I think, however, that this is a perfect argument point now to bring Pankratops back. Because if your opponent can plow through your entire board, there stands to reason that we can't have Pankratops back to deal with problems like this.
I think that one might come down more to the kind of control versus combo aspect because combo is generally more powerful here because A, I think our mindsets are a bit more accustomed to it, and B, max C is not a thing over here. So anything that can really fuck over control decks hard is something that's a bit more balanced for usually. It's something that's like, okay, can this do it? Because like Alpha cannot do shit to control decks. This can't do shit to control decks. Pankratops can fuck up control decks pretty hard.
I just want Pankratops back. I just want to play Dino Wrestlers. I don't actually want to play anything else. I don't want to use him for nefarious purposes. I just want to play him how he was designed.
That is a nefarious purpose.
Oh, damn you, George Onizuka.
George Gore.
That's the one, George Gore. Fucking go Onizuka.
Thanks, localizers. But anyways, yeah, this truly has been the hour of single good support card waves. But aside from that, let's talk about the big new waves, starting with delicious Spright. Yum. Crack open a big one.
Yes, you feeling thirsty? These Sprites are 100% thunder. Do not drink them.
Don't try and stop me. Starting off, Spright Blue is a level 2 Dark Thunder and shares the ability with all his main deck bros to special summon from hand if you have a rank or a level 2. And when specialed, he searches a Spright monster. Jet is the same but with back row. Pixies is the same but in honest for level and rank 2s. Toad. No, Toad, put down the... Toad! No! Put down the gun! Toad! No! Ah!
We've already done this joke.
Oh. Okay. Red is fire and contribute another level rank or link to negate the activation of a monster effect, and if you attributed a link or rank to, destroy it. Carrot is the same but for back row.
Why is it called carrot?
Because I put it in my mouth.
Dude.
It's numb now. Not feel. Lightning hurt.
Gigantic Spright is a rank 2. He's huge. He's fucking huge.
He's a literal UFO. He's a Dark Thunder rank 2, yeah, with 1600 attack, and if it has a Fusion, Synchro, Ixies, or Link as a mat, its original attack is doubled. Also, you can, during your main phase, detach a mat to lock both players into... This is, during your main phase, detach a material to lock both players into only summoning 2s for the turn, and special summon any level 2 from deck. This is fucking funny. I fear the Paleo Frog.
Nibiru me now, you fucker.
That's the interesting thing about this deck. This is another engine deck with rank and level 2 shit. But like Red and Carrot both like prevent Nibiru and like Imperm, which is really interesting.
I don't like their tribute cost. If that makes sense.
I think they needed something to like kind of like rein it in, but
it just feels like going very neg to. But you know, what do I know? I've not actually play tested these yet, so
you can't make an omelet without cracking a few negs. Fuck you, that was good.
Yes, Spright Elf is the Link 2. It can make with 2 monsters, including a level, rank, or Link 2 monster. It can't be used as Link material, and during the main
turn
summon, and your opponent can't target monsters it points to with card effects, which is a piece of text I've not seen for quite a while. And then during the main phase, you can quick effect revive a level 2 monster from the graveyard. Or if your opponent controls a monster, you can target a rank or Link 2 monster instead.
This gives you 2 revivals for free.
Yes.
May I see it?
No.
Spright Starter is a quick play that locks you to 2s and is a starter, summoning a Spright and losing life points equal to its attack. Good shit.
Quick launch, yes. Gamma Burst is... you just make sure your monsters gain 1400.
I'd rather have a Gamma Burst than play this.
I think it's pretty good. I find a lot of the shortcomings of lower level decks is that sometimes they just don't have the attack to go over things. Of course, you've got like gigantic Spright, but in the event that you don't, or you're mashing this into another deck, like I know one that's taken off at the minute for testing is Evil Twin. Evil Twin, both Kill and Leela, the links only have 1100 attack, giving them both 1400 puts them 25 apiece.
Don't the babies have like not the babies, but the VTuber idols have like level 2?
Yeah, they're all level 2 and all linked to except Trouble Sunny. So
yeah,
this
is the 2 deck.
Thinity. But
I feel they have enough options of like Sky Cavalry Centuria and Gigantic Spright in order to avoid playing this though.
I guess I'd play one. I like limited removal cards though.
That's fine.
And then finally is Spright Smashers. This one is not technically a Spright card.
It's still good. So it's a quick play, and it can banish a Springans, Therions, or Spright from hand or graveyard to do one of these things. Summon a Springan from deck if you banish a Springan. Revive a Therion.
No. It doesn't matter which one you banish.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, you can banish any of them.
Okay, shit, yeah. Summon a Springan from deck, revive a Therion, or banish a 2 you control and a card your opponent controls. This is fantastic for Springans.
This is a Springans card, and I'm surprised Springans got the win. But I'm a happy man.
I'm very happy with this. Springans are cool as fuck. This lets you get out Captain Sargus, meaning that you will have an easier quick effect attached to use on your opponent's turn.
Hell yeah.
It's fucking good.
It's fucking good.
Speaking of Therions.
Oh yeah, shit, we got some more Therions, didn't we?
Yeah. Empress Arasia is a level 8 Earth Reptile, so it's already based, and has the usual summon effect, and can discard a card to summon a Therions in your back row. It's essentially a Monster Reborn.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the other one is Irregular.
I love this card.
Target 3 Therions in your graveyard, special summon them from your hand, and if you do, equip the target monsters to this card. You can discard the Perpetual Engine, destroy all cards your opponent controls, and while equipped to a monster, you can special summon this card.
You can swap the 2 around, actually.
Oh, so you can summon it and equip and then summon it?
I think so, yeah. This is a fucking awesome boss monster.
Yeah,
this is
I think
way less stupid than Regulus.
Yeah, but you're still playing Regulus for its effect.
Yeah, but this is based.
Oh, of course! How silly of me.
Yeah.
We still haven't got Therions yet in the TCG, and
we haven't, but I think we can determine the rarities.
Oh, absolutely.
3 secret rares.
Do we know if they're going to be any impact on the meta yet, or not?
I think in Japan they've made some nice strides. Regulus will definitely find his way into stuff like Earth Machine and give them a bit more power. It'll be hard to say where the rest sit, but I think they definitely have potential.
Yeah, the OCG is just such a completely different beast that you can't use that as a judge for quality.
Yeah. I think Drytron's initial impact in the OCG versus over here is the best example of the disparity between the two.
For sure.
But yeah, after that is the other new deck. Well, actually, let's talk about Ice Jades again.
Oh god, I was hoping we'd get away with it.
Ice Jade creation is level 7 water aqua tuner, and only one of its first or last effect can be used per turn. You can either quick quickly equip it or special it. A monster. Yeah, a monster it's equipped to gains 400 stats for each banished monster. I don't know if Ice Jade banish enough to make this work as a Grenmaju.
I don't even know if Ice Jade do anything to make this work.
Yeah, I mean, like, the fact that you can't equip it and then summon it on the same turn is a bit... But, the last card in this kind of little wave of branded lore is Branded Central Dogmatica, which is a continuous spell that if you summon one ritual monster with a spell, you can mill one extra deck monster from either player. If you fusion summon with a spell, you can double its original attack, but can only attack position monsters. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, play one in a ritual deck. Yeah.
Anyways, Tearlaments, or how Visa's harem continued to grow. He's moved from dogs to women.
From dog fighting to women fighting. He's come to take on Water Hitler, and Water Hitler himself, Tearlaments Reno Heart, when he's normal and special summoned, just mills a Tearlaments monster from deck to graveyard. And if it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, he brings himself back, and then he's banished.
Yeah, and then he pitches a tier from hand, I think.
Yeah. In my honest heart of hearts, if this is supposed to be a parallel to Rikka, he's not. I wouldn't say he's as good. Like he works with the deck, but like I think I prefer Rikka in terms of functionality.
That's fine. This at least gives you some recovery later on, which is interesting. But I think we need to talk about the kind of shared effect that they all have, starting with Tearlaments. I'm just gonna say their names and not Tearlaments because that's a really awkward thing to read. Myru is a dark aqua level 2 that mills 3 on summon, and if sent to graveyard by a card effect, is shared between all but like Reno. You can fusion summon by placing the materials from hand, field, or graveyard on the bottom of the deck, including her.
Ooh, it's reverse Tri-Brigade.
I kind of like these. They're really interesting.
Yeah, like when we go to discuss the extra deck monsters, you'll find why these are markedly better than Scareclaws.
Yeah,
but,
I think they're also a bit...
it
does...
Carry on.
Fusion Soup deck is something else I fear.
That is also very valid. Yeah, so they also have a similar... Well, Meru is the only one that has the outlier because it's mills based on normal summon. But both Halfinis and Shaylin, they both just straight up special summon themselves from hand. And then...
Yeah, Halfinis, when the opponent activates a monster effect, and Shaylin summons herself from hand by pitching a card and then milling 3. And they pitch for effect, so they can set each other off pretty easy.
I like the idea of Shaylin as a Lightsworn card.
Yeah, no, these... You
can add it off Chaos Space, and then you could unbrick your hand. And then mill.
No, wait, she can be summoned normally, though, so she can't.
Oh, yeah, no shit. I mean, it was fun while it lasted. The dream. It's fine. Either way, milling's nice for Lightsworns.
Yeah,
but you're not strictly going to be doing that.
I want Dark Worlds to get a fusion monster so they can use these.
I hope they don't, so that they don't use these.
Don't say that. They're getting a structure deck.
You say structure deck. I say tore apart and put into a side set.
Why would you say that?
To hurt you.
You can't hurt me. I've already drawn into guard it.
These fusion monsters are really good though.
Yeah. Kit Kat.
Kit Kat is
level 5.
Level 5, so you can instant fusion it. And when it's special summoned, doesn't matter how, you can take a Tearlaments card from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. And then you can trade a monster on field for another monster in the graveyard by sending one and special summon the other. And then if it's sent to the graveyard, you can mill 5.
Yeah,
so this is a good starter. Like
snap into a Kit Kat. Wait, that's not the line.
Snap into my ass.
Visa's effect to destroy. Oh shit, Visa's destroy effect actually works with these too. What the fuck?
Yeah, no man. Like it's almost like they thought about Visa's Starfrost this time.
Gross.
No. And then Kaleido Heart is the big boy of this.
He's the only one that's not a. He's a dark fiend instead of like a dark aqua like the rest of the deck.
But 2 aqua monsters. and when it can't be used as fusion material, so you can't super poly it away. If it's special summoned or an aqua monster is sent to your graveyard by card effect while it's on the field, you can target one monster your opponent or one card your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck, and then if it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon it and then send a Tearlaments card from deck to graveyard.
This is Shoe Rag, but with a harem.
Yeah, no, this thing's going to be a pain in the ass to out. And this is also... I can't hate on it too much because it's actually quite a well-designed boss monster. Instead of being just like a stupid negate machine, it's like just a threat that won't go away.
Yeah, no, I think recurring boss monsters are always a really interesting point of design because they always seem so much weaker than they actually are. Like, take Citadel or Baylor's Rush.
Yeah. It's also nice just to get away from seeing the word negate.
I just think they're neat.
I just think they're neat. And also, once again, we've got another field spell that searches things. You're going to have to wait a bit for the Link one, though.
Palerino.
The Primal Parallel Ruined Realm adds Tearlaments or Visas. Visas coming fast-tracked to becoming one of the most searchable monsters by field spell. Fusion monsters in general, and Tearlaments gain 500, and if a Tearlaments monster is returned from your field or graveyard to the deck or extra deck, target one card on the field, destroy it. So this is just more supplement to your strategy.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think one type of card design that I've always really liked is how a card will have a really useful effect, and then something that's just kind of weird as a second thing. Like, I think Destiny Hero Celestial is a good example of this. It gives you a draw too, but at the same time, if you really need to, you can like attack and pop your opponent's like fucking, I don't know, continuous spell, burn the 500, win the game.
It's the little things about cards that sort of like make them more interesting. Like cards that find themselves too streamlined into an idea and don't do anything off the wall tend to just get boring very, very quick.
Yeah, I like a little bit of weird things. That it gives me life.
But this one seems to be more trap based anyway. So we got, instead of mostly spells like Scareclaw, we have traps. Meta Noise is a Book of Moon in trap form, and if it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can add a Tearlaments from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah, it also mills a tier by doing it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Damn, son.
So yeah, not only does this flip the opponent's shit, but it also gets you one of your fusion monsters, potentially.
Yeah, so you can see this is leaning more into like a control strategy.
Yeah, no, it's really neat. Salic is their continuous trap and can target and negate an effect monster. If you have Tier or Visas, then send a monster you control to the graveyard. So again, continues to proc the Tearlaments. If sent to the graveyard, search a Tier. This one's fucking nasty. You continue to proc stuff, and if the opponent removes it, you nab the monster activator and continue to fuck them.
Or you could just play Visas control.
Editors, no, don't do this.
Do not play Visas control. It's not a real deck. It's not real. It can't hurt you.
Visas doesn't have his visa. He can't enter the country.
Speaking of which, that sounds like a Tearlaments crime.
Or a climb to get your visa.
So this is just Infinity Barrier, but it shuffles the card into the deck, and then you pitch a monster, and then if it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can recover a banished, and this will come quite important when you're banishing your Reno Hearts and anything else that finds itself banished.
Why is this whole set so fucking cracked?
This is like especially compared to like Scareclaws, and I'm gonna keep bringing Scareclaws up. It's you can see the day or night like process of like Konami's like, right, this is the good one.
I think I'm gonna make a prediction here. The TCG premieres will all suck ass. Not a one of them will be good.
No.
The only reason they'd make the cards good is if they know the set is bad and they need something to sell it. Remember Dangers in Cybernetic Horizon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
remember the first wave of B Troopers?
Don't remind me. Let's see, the moment the set became good with Burst of Destiny, B Troopers sucked ass.
It's hard not to make it feel like it's just this targeted thing, but it really is starting to feel that way.
Where's Dark Destroyer when you need him? Don't ignore my targeting joke.
I didn't hear it in the microphone cut off. That's my argument.
I'll tell it again then. I was saying that Dark Destroyer is.
Oh, I'm going to ignore that on the fact that I don't like Cosmos. Get bodied, nerd.
No.
Is that everything that we've in Power of the Elements? I think there's the new Earth chart channeler.
They had the audacity to release this in the same set as Vernalizers.
Yeah, they're really pushing Earth at the minute. Earth is very hot right now, and
no, it's dirt.
This is just Win, but they put more restrictions on her compared to Win. Win was just like, yeah, fuck it, search any Win monster. They're not going to win anything.
Wind anything.
But this one like locks you into what you discard, so you can either search spellcasters or the Earth monster you pitch.
Yeah, it has to search something with the same type as what you pitch. So Madolches, from what I've heard, don't really want this because there are only ways to get the fairies. They only have 2 of them, so it's a little awkward for them. Earth Machine, again, doesn't like the idea of shutting itself off from unclassed spare. Karakuri's, on the other hand, that's where shit gets interesting.
Yeah, anything to reach your combo pieces that doesn't interrupt the game plan. This is where these start showing. Like, Wind kind of just found a home in Gusto because it triggered some of the effects.
Yeah, I used to run her in my Battle Lost Speedroid until I figured that was a stupid fucking idea.
Yeah, the Wind lock is probably one of the most painful locks to ever exist because of you don't realize how restrictive it is. Earth lock, not quite so much.
I think the issue is that it's hard to find a lot of pure Earth decks that can really function with her. But I will say, though, this is just a side note. I was doing Master Duel, like the Synchro event. It ended, like, yesterday night. But I was doing the Synchro event. I was surprised at how good the Loner decks were, and how good, like, the Speedroid Loner deck was in particular. Like, that deck's actually not bad.
I'm going to go and on a limb and say two of the Loner decks. The one of the Loner decks in particular is not very good.
Is it the Stardust one or the Barone one?
The Barone one is
yeah, that one's...
it's pure Sherry support, which is just yeah, but the Stardust one's fine because you know, it's Stardust.
Yeah, I beat a man using that with Mech Lord Machina. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was wise of them to keep Mech Lords off the ban list for that occasion.
Yeah, it probably helps that my rank was in silver, so I was getting matched with other silver players instead of, like, platinum using, like, stun decks all the time.
Actually, like, degenerates.
Yeah, I did run into a Monarch deck, though, and I ran into a Monarch deck, and I think I mentioned this to you, but I ran into... I won't keep this going for too long, I apologize. But I ran into a Megalith deck. I drew into, like, Big Boy Disruptions so they couldn't use Phaleg. And then... then I realized that in their extra deck, they had they had put a bunch of random synchros, including the Magistus one, so I equipped that to my Triskelion and I won.
proud of you. Yeah, they like to hit Megaliths for this event, but they don't hit it enough so that people just keep playing it.
Yeah, it's... I had fun with the event, though, because I was stuck in silver, so I got to play, like, people who were actually invested in playing the game. But yeah, back to the real game, the real world. Albaz of the Ashes is by Albaz. I don't even want to talk about him. He just seems like an annoying, like, recurring targeting protection.
Yeah, seems like more Albaz. It's hashtag character development.
Despia branded is...
More Despia shit.
Yeah, no, Despia branded as a deck, I mean, is...
Oh, I see.
Just annoys me. Branded separation shows that, damn, that ass really can fart, and is a trap that tributes a fusion and reborns 2 dead or banished monsters, except fusion monsters, and puts 1 on each side of the field, but if you tributed a fusion that uses Albaz as material, you can special them both to your field. It's really interesting disruption and board breaking. I refuse to learn how this deck works. I am so sick of this fucker.
I hate Albaz on principle. Yeah, like I was tearing apart the structure deck, and I'm sure we'll talk about it later. But like, I was shocked at like how much of it was good, but had nothing to do with Albaz.
That's the best way to do it. But Grand Ground Tusk Dragon is where the pack filler finally creeps in, and it pops 2 cards on someone, gaining 600 attack for each. Giant rat target.
Hello, hello, 2010.
El rata gigante.
Yeah, Rata Gigante. I was wondering about rat targets. No, this is
do
a
that.
this is a Duel Links card.
Oh God, don't remind
Yeah, no,
me.
yeah, this is a Duel Links card. Don't worry about it. Which is King's.
Which is a counter trap that negates and destroys the activation of a monster on field. Then you can banish a monster from hand in order to special summon it to your field. Effects negated. It's cute, but we're well past the point of running generic counter traps.
Yeah, IDP's already got this sort of market cornered in terms of shitting on your opponent.
Yeah.
But I am
The
interested in who this Dragon King is, because there's two cards now in Dragon King's Myth and Dragon King's Aura.
It's just Utopic Future Dragon.
Oh. my interest is vastly dissipated.
There's just a few more pack filler cards, and the thing I'll give this set is that the pack filler is actually kind of interesting. Propagandake. I had to read over that name again to make sure I didn't read. What the fuck is that name? This goddamn Tengu-looking motherfucker comes up to my goddamn house and says, "Hey, my name's Propagandake. How about you get some propaganda on how to live a life, you fuck?" I'm not talking about him. He sucks.
I think he does this weird thing where he like turns into like
A bug.
he's like a level 3 psychic, and he transforms into like various types, very specific types, and
like
then,
bug.
and then something like it gives targeting protection. Like
Yeah, he gives blanket targeting protection. He can turn into
insect, beast,
plant or rock. I think the important thing is insect though, which is very Kafka-esque. Put up the Mission Hill image.
But then again, another thing you could do, and it's a bit of a reach, but you could use it as an e-tele target for Adamantipator.
I was going to talk about the next card in relation to Adamantipator, but that's actually a really interesting point.
Yeah, no, that just came to me now, and I was thinking, well, yeah, no, you could do that, because then you have if you don't draw any monsters that you can summon Researcher off of, but you pull an e-tele, because then you can also...
you'd have to draw no monsters for that to happen.
Yeah, which I assume is fairly uncommon in Adamantipator.
Yeah, like, you can usually draw at least one rock. Now, here's the real Adamantipator meat. They were going apeshit over this. Hidden Jewel of the Hydra Spear, Catrin, is a level 2 water rock that can be discarded so that during the main phase you get an additional normal of an earth or water. You can revive him from your graveyard while you have an earth monster and a water monster. This is an Adamantipator card. I'm not complaining.
It is a generic rock monster in general, because there are a lot of times, like even when I play cards like Magnet Warriors, where I'll find myself with another level 3 in hand that I can't quite use. Having something like this is nice, because then it also, not only does it let you normal summon more monsters, but you can also make things like drag out live.
Yeah.
But yeah, good card. I like him.
Yeah.
He's cute.
Yeah, he'd be my friend. He's got a skeleton. He's okay. Evil Awakening Master Nightmelt is a level 4 wind psychic that can tribute a monster and special summon a monster sharing literally everything but its name from deck. And if you tribute it to extra deck monster, you can summon it from extra deck instead. You can do something with this. I don't know what, but I fear it nonetheless.
Yeah, but don't forget, people said that about Spirit Sculptor.
I just saw a thread the other day specifically mentioning Spirit Sculptor, and I refuse to be disheartened by this.
No, it's not. It's nowhere near the same as Spirit Sculptor. Spirit Sculptor is a tragedy. This
is a comedy.
This is a comedy because it has something, but we don't know it yet, and it's gonna take a few weeks for it to click. But
Yeah. I wonder how many decks are there that actually share a lot of stats. I guess Monarchs, but they couldn't really use this. It has to be someone with like built-in special summon capabilities.
Yeah. Special level 4 wind psychic. I don't know how many because the Horn is also tributing itself to get off the field. There's not many level 4 psychic targets.
It has to share the stat line too.
Oh, the stat line too. No. Yeah, this is where it kind of gets funky. Mathmech. It's a reach. It's a huge reach, but
There's worse ideas, I guess.
You've already got things like Nabla.
Nabla these nuts.
Fuck you. Man.
The next card I want to talk about is also really interesting. The pack filler, even the pack filler in this set is like fucking interesting to talk about. This is like Dark Neostorm all over again. It's great. Subspecies King Ashura O is a rank 3 Earth Warrior Ixies with 2,100 attack and needs 3 level 3s or more. He can attack up to his number of materials, gains 200 attack whenever he battles, and can detach to monster effect, negate, and destroy.
Yeah.
This is weirdly good. It's a negate and a Chimbara effect all in one.
Yeah, it's nice. I can't think of many decks that could summon it.
Yeah. Like a lot of rank 3 decks would probably prefer some lower impact stuff like the Bug or Bamboozling Google.
Yeah, I think if they put more effort into supporting materia reactors, which we thought they'd do, but they haven't. This would be a good card for them, but people are talking like different ways of like trying to rank up into it or something. Yeah. All that for just one negate is just not worth it.
Yeah, it is really interesting though as a game closer. I like it on that principle. Next up is Unlimited Free Radio Jamming, which is confusing to read, and a continuous spell card which does some attack reduction BS, so who cares? Yeah,
it's just a convoluted way of saying if you have a monster with 1,000 attack or less, if your opponent's monsters lose 1,000 attack.
Yeah. There's a normal trap called Sundered from Overroot or something. Targets card in their field yard or one in the graveyard. Sends field to graveyard, sets a graveyard one. Interesting but not worth it. Run IDP.
Yeah.
Twin Dust Grenade is another normal trap. Targets any number of set cards in your back row, bounces them and this. Then you can set back row from hand equal to what you returned. It's very interesting dodging in terms of like Cosmic Cyclone, but just run Sky King Prison.
I didn't realize this bounces itself as well. That is hilarious. I thought this was just like a joke card, but this is actually kind of funny.
It is interesting, but it's like it just feels like a worse Sky King Prison man.
Yeah, I mean, but who can afford Sky King's Prison?
The Sky King.
Damn, I was wondering where all the copies went.
How do you think he built the prison?
Out of copies of his own card.
Yeah.
You'll never escape!
Hey, it's raining! Oh no, they're escaping!
Don't get away! And
my back row!
The prismatic secret rare is Flame Wingman, because fuck you.
This set, despite having a really lackluster start, is really fucking good.
Yeah, it was a slow burner, but I'm glad to see that it got somewhere.
It paid off its addictions. It's had a good time in rehab. None of my bits have gone anywhere today. What's wrong with me?
You're really flagging on these bits. I felt myself like a bit slow on the go because I'm suffering from major depression. But you know, now that the funnies are rolling, I'm getting there. I mean, I'm in the flow. You.
I want to kill myself too. Why am I not funny?
Yeah. I can't tell you that. Only you have to reach down deep inside to find the funny.
I tried that. All I found was my prostate.
Oh.
Anyways, if there's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call?
Ghosts from the past too.
They're back in town.
Yeah, I need to pee. This is we knew nothing about it for the longest time, but then the spoiler list dropped, and now we know everything. And it's
this
good.
Is a good set.
It's almost single-handedly redeemed the original Ghost from the Past.
Yeah, like I don't think this is necessarily a meta set because the only real meta reprint in it is a Luber, but everything in it is like a high-value print, like stuff that was really weirdly expensive. The imports are good. We finally got all the stuff from the fucking rival box, like Crystal Beast, Rainbow Dragon, Vice King Requiem, Neos Klugger. Rebellion Dragon Overlord, Heat Soul, Boral End, and we got the Agent deck, the Infernity and Fossil stuff that we never got. We got stuff like Code Exporter and a reprint of some other Code and Cyber stuff. Salamangreat Blaze Dragon.
Yeah, funny you should mention Blaze Dragon, because for the longest time we've had Salamangreat Zebroid X. We've had it since Echo. I want to say Eternity Code. Maybe even Ignition Assault. But this fucker only works with Salamangreat Blaze Dragon. And we've not been able to use it.
Did you know that Mixeroid can summon Zebroid X?
Yeah, absolutely. I hate to brag, but I was the true pioneer of invoked Salamangroid. I helped.
Don't say that.
I helped craft that deck. They don't tell you that, but I was there.
Probably for the same reason they don't tell you like about death as a child.
Just these horrible, these strange arcane concepts.
Oh yeah, we also got a rookie warrior lady.
Oh yeah, no, that's cool. Because I've been testing that in things like War Rocks and before you go, haha, War Rocks. But you know, it's also got a place in Amazon S, and I want to say Goki as well. But she's just really solid as a like 1 or 2 of.
Yeah. We'll have more words about Amazon S later. Don't you worry. Yeah, you got a bunch of agent reprints, so it's really easy to build the deck. Vision Heroes finally got a reprint, so Ferris will finally be like affordable. Vion's there. Some Inzectors that missed the print in the last set, like Gigamantis got reprints. Ghost Tricks, fucking Vampires. Some good DDs. We're getting a reprint of Divine Zero King Rage, despite the fact that I bought a manga volume for him.
Yeah, same.
The good news is it means I can go to locals with DDs tonight, but... Tenyi's Generators, Plunder Patrols.
Yeah, it's a big set. Like, was it 200 cards?
Yeah, it's like almost 180.
Yeah, it's almost too big.
Yeah, it means it will be kind of hard to pull things, but at least like every set or pack, like every set is like a 4-pack set with 5 cards each, so it's like 20 cards.
But you've got Gimps chasing for the Ghost Rares, so there'll be packs of this just open everywhere.
Yeah, oh god, I don't even give a shit about Ghost Rares. I hope all the people getting Ghost Rares and selling off the other shit at least makes the stuff easier to get. Also, they only reprinted 1 alien card. It's Alien Ammonite. Mecha Phantom Beast, Colt Wing, Doppel Warrior, and I think Despot 001 got reprinted. Strangely, the Link 3 is missing. What could this mean?
What do they mean by this?
Yeah, it's time for time to shoot down a bird. I forgot what it was called.
Oh, Auroradon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's time to take her out back and end the Hulk Auroradon line. Once again, we're still kind of forgetting that the problem card is Halka Fibrax, but don't worry about it. It's small details.
Come on, son. Grab the trap hole and take him out back.
I love that Halka Fibrax does not receive enough play to justify banning it, but all the cards that it enables just get banned.
I'm in danger!
What is wrong with Konami? Why do they let this happen? Every time something gets banned, I see that blue little fucker. he's there in the background like, oh, it couldn't be me. Yeah, it is you!
This is like Hoodwinked, but with Halka Fibrax.
If I see him in public, he's a dead motherfucker. This is a call out.
Don't go to locals.
Don't go to locals tomorrow, unless you're Halka Fibrax.
Yeah, they finally reprinted Galaxy Soldier, which is a little too late.
Yeah, but is it still going to be expensive?
God only knows.
I hope not.
Rise of the Mega Monarch, Retaliating Sea, Cypher Twin Raptor, Wandering King Wildwind, Baylor's Rosh, Necroworld Banshee, Glow of Bloom, Reptilian Lamia, Mathmech Edition.
Yeah, Lamia is a weird reprint because it's a common. And
they also reprinted a bunch of like vanilla fusions for Retort Fusion.
Well, that's good. Why don't they reprint Retort Fusion since they're reprinting Despias from the same set?
Shut up.
Yeah, that's right. You have no answer.
I don't need... I will say that the one thing that's weird is that they missed the Plunder Patrol link, which is pretty important. But I already bought 2, so I'm covered.
Ha! Suck it, late investors. No nice things for you.
Yeah. Oh, you want a cheap deck core? How about you take this cheap dick whore? Geo Mathmech Final Sigma. I think Alan Bershin got reprinted. Cupid Pitch is in here.
No, it wasn't Alan Bershin. It was Lapulation because Alan Bershin was done in Maximum Gold 2.
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, Sky Cavalry Centuria is here too.
Yeah, no, I noticed that. I was just literally just telling people that not to buy it because it was weirdly expensive.
Yeah, Hope Harbinger, Dugare's the Timeless. Yeah, no, you're right. Jormungandr, which is the worst Ixies.
Draglubion.
Don't say that.
Draglubion.
I'm gonna Draglu. Yeah, no, this is a really good set with a bunch of really good reprints. They didn't reprint the Foolish Burial for Rocks though, despite reprinting Fossil Fusion. So fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, they picked and choose what they did and didn't want to reprint because they didn't reprint Weathering Soldier either. I think.
I don't think so. It's weird, but it is a good set though.
Yeah, it is.
We're not talking about the Ghost Rares.
I don't even know what they are.
I don't care what they are.
Okay, moving swiftly on. We'll talk about some up and coming new cards.
Some new cards.
New cards. Colonel.
Duke Nukem. Divine Runecum. Damn. I'm here to quick ass and activate quick play spells. And I'm all out of quick plays.
Okay, so this is Tactical Masters. We already know about the Valiants. They got a few more pieces. I think one literally just searches Senate Switch.
Don't say it. Don't say it yet.
Okay, cut that. But we'll go into the stuff that's got the most meat on the bones, and that is Mr. Runes. Mr. Runes are a series of quick play spells. And that's all you need to know. Don't play
This is
these.
This is a deck that has a main deck entirely of spells, and they look like shots from an FPS game. God, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm playing the Duke Nukem theme to this, by the way.
After seeing these things in action and knowing now what they're doing in the OCG, I have taken a very much disliking to them.
They're pretty disgusting.
Like they're not good enough to warrant I wouldn't say they'd be a massive threat, but if you were to come across these on a casual level, it would ruin your day.
It would ruin them.
Shut up.
Mr. Ruin them.
So we'll run through these cards. You want to start with the fusions or the spells?
Let's start with the spells. So first is their field spells, Spring of the Divine Rune. They're either called Divine Runes or Mr. Runes. Either one's fine. I don't care. They'll be called something like Rooney Wooney Hoogie Dooney in the US. So this allows you to Magical Musket their quick plays from hand, and once per turn, if you activate their quick plays, you can target up to 3 of their quick plays in the graveyard, place them on the bottom of the deck, then draw that many cards. You get to go +3. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like straight off the bat, you're hit with this notion that well, you've been using your spells and traps. Just have them back.
This is the card that makes this deck function, and it is fucking insane.
Yeah, you've
Divine.
got to hit that one as soon as possible.
And fortunately, it's not unsearchable. Deceit of the Divine Rune has Loptir from the generators on it, and is a continuous spell that each time a quick is activated, it banishes one from the top of the opponent's deck, and you can only control one of them. This is going somewhere, I swear. All the quick plays have 2 effects and skip your next battle phase when you use them. One is a unique effect along with a banish mill of a various number of cards, and the other specials a Divine Rune from extra deck to field. Point searches their cards and mills 1. Brilliant Flame targets an opponent's special monster and destroys it and mills 2. Destruction targets a back row, pops it, and mills fucking 4. Dispel, if an opponent adds a card from outside the draw phase, you can discard 1 from their hand, then mill 2. Freezing Curse targets and negates an effect monster, mills 3. Golden Droplets lets the opponent draw 1, then mills 4. Raging Storm just banishes cards from the top of the opponent's deck equal to the cards they control. Droplets is the worst, Point is the best, by being any other one. This is a mill deck that works.
Which is shocking in this day and age, for sure. It's not. I get it, but at the same time, I don't like it.
I'll keep it real with you. I deeply appreciate this deck on a theming and aesthetic level, on a gameplay level, and on the way just mechanically it functions. It will be annoying as fuck to play against, but this is one of the most creative things I've seen from them in a while. This is great.
Yeah, I can't fault it for that much.
Just genuinely, it being like Duke Nukem.deck is just what makes me go apeshit. It's so fucking funny.
And to complement these spells, we have a handful of fusion monsters.
2 twinks and a dog.
I mean, one's a girl.
2 twinks and a dog.
Okay. So we have Jerry.
That's not his name.
It is Jerry Fangs of Mystery.
Jerry Beansman.
Jerry Bean Fangs. When you special summon an extra deck, you can add a Mystery spell in your graveyard, accept a quick play, and add it to your hand. It can't be destroyed by card effects, and when it's destroyed, you can destroy a card.
When it's destroyed by battle, you can destroy a card. He only has 1,000 defense. Lamau.
Oh, but only by battle, no.
He can't be destroyed by card effects, though.
Yeah, that's true. I can't imagine him lasting that long, though. Then there's
I mean, he's supposed to die. That's the thing.
What is your purpose? You
Bark,
crash,
bark.
You crash into things. We got Munin.
Wings of the Divine Rune. Level 3.
And if you special summon, you discard one card and add a Mystery Rune continuous spell, which gets you your Deceit. And then when a card or effect that targets a Mystery Rune is activated, you pay
Or a set card.
Yeah, a set card. You banish this card and negate the activation and gain 1,000
During each end phase, yeah. He is...
the life and soul of the deck by the sounds of it.
That would be Hugin, Wings of the Divine Rune. Level 2 Light Fairy Fusion. These are all fusions because they just needed something to slap onto them, and fusion is the most, like, whatever extra deck mechanic. Level 2 Light Fairy Fusion with no stats, and if summoned from the extra deck, you can discard a card to grab their field spell. This is
the
insane.
Heart and soul of the deck.
Every single quick play spell in this deck starts your plays.
I hate it.
Yeah, and if another card you control would be destroyed, you can banish her instead. And if she's destroyed, return her to the extra deck. Yeah, she is an amazing play starter. Munin is a fantastic protector for your field spell. And you can also use her... I guess you can use Hugin to prevent from Lightning Storm, but like Munin, I think the targeting protection for your field spell is better. But you can only... These all summon to the extra monster zone, so you can only really have one live at a time. But these are fucking funny as hell. I love these.
Yeah, and I think it stands to reason that the first OCG top of this was an invoked variant.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah, don't act surprised, but good old Al the Invoker. He's
Al the Stroker.
Al the Stroker. He's been stroking his way through many decks, and this one he's found a great interest in.
Don't say that.
I'm just telling you how it is.
He's not activating quick plays. He's activating dick plays.
Yeah, this deck is kind of a problem just because it requires a solution to. It requires a solution that other decks don't think of.
Yeah, but on that sense, I kind of appreciate it just for being so weird and out there. That's like, I can't be mad at this.
Yeah,
This is too cool.
you will either steal every win at your locals, or you will lose every game.
As God intended.
But that
Labyrinth.
Welcome to the Labyrinth.
This deck's art style is like Beauty and the Beast, but with lesbians.
Down for that.
Let's see, Labyrinth. These are an interesting deck. They're not all necessarily coherent, but it's one of those decks where it's like the more you read it, the more synergistic you realize they are.
Yeah.
So Labyrinth of the Silver Palace is Mokimoki, level 8 Dark Fiend, and monster effects cannot be activated in response to your normal trap cards. You can target a normal trap, I believe in your graveyard, set it to your field, but it can't be activated unless you control a fiend. if a monster leaves the field by a normal trap's effect, you can destroy an opponent's card or hand rip them. If this is busted, always remove something and makes your back row essentially spell speed 4.
But the good news is she doesn't special summon herself, so you do have to kind of work for it. So it's not free.
Yeah. I don't think it's too difficult judging by some of the other stuff, but Labyrinth Archfiend proves that there is no territory on Earth that is safe from Archfiends, and if a trap is activated, you can special her, and when special, you can set a trap that goes off when an attack is declared from deck. Woo! Mirror Force Hours, baby! Go fucking nuts with it! Also, she has attack redirection effect and attack boost, but Dimension Wall, baby! Yeah!
Yeah, this is like just like one of those, and I hate these kinds of cards that just bait cards that they go, ooh, you're going to attack me now, and then your opponent wipes your back row, and
Lightning Storm.
but you know, I think there's some protection later on, but we'll get into that in a second. Then you got the 2 level 4s. These are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
7 Ariane. You send a normal trap from your hand or set to the field. Special summon a level 4 or lower fiend monster from your deck, any fiend in defense position. And then if a monster leaves the field by a normal trap effect, you can draw 1 card.
And especially fiend from hand or set it back from hand. Yeah, she's good. Gets shit started to grab the others. Combos with Ariana's Search. The Plus is nutty. You can technically splash her as long as you have like a trap heavy build. Like, unironically, Unchained might use these.
Yeah, Unchained, Lair of Darkness.
Yeah, well, sorry. Jeez. And then there's Ariana, who is they're both maids for some. This is why I said this deck's art style is kind of incomprehensible. It's a level 4. They're all dark fiends, and when summoned as a Labyrinth card, and if a monster leaves the field by your normal trap, you can draw 1, then special a fiend or set back row from hand. Second effect is nice for plusing, and so is the first. Good card for starting shit.
And then we've got a bunch of like weird hand traps. So these remind me of those Dark Spirit of the Banished and Dark Spirit of the
from the Bakura.
the Bakura deck. But
Yeah.
like,
Starting out with
but they're better.
Yeah, starting off with Labyrinth Chlamydia, I mean Chandra, is level 3, and as a quickie you can send it from hand or field to graveyard and discard a card to set a Labyrinth back row from hand or deck, and if a monster leaves by normal trap, you can recur this card from the graveyard. He is good, more consistency at the cost of a slight minus, and can be set up on the opponent's turn.
Nice. And I think Stovey's pretty much the exact same, isn't he?
It's literally the same.
Oh no, yeah, no, it adds it special summons itself instead of adding itself back to the hand.
Oh, really?
But he's a thick 2k booty, so.
Oh wait, or is Cucklock the same as Stovey?
No, I think they're so Chandra and Stovey are the same, but one special summons itself, one adds itself back to hand.
Were they? I could have sworn 2 of them were like literally the exact same card.
No, it's just a very subtle difference in adding and special summoning. Yeah.
That's. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna double check this just to make sure I'm not going insane.
He doesn't believe me, viewers, but I'm right.
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that actually. Shit, I thought they were literally the same effect. I was gonna say
it trips me up as well when I see it, but then you see like just right at the end you see the changing card text.
I guess they functionally do the same thing, so it's basically just 6 copies of the same card.
Yeah, and then the cook.
The stove
clock.
is a cat. Yeah, Cuck Clock.
It discards it, and then if you control a Labyrinth monster, you can activate a normal trap card the turn it's set. And then if you send a card from the hand to the graveyard to activate a Labyrinth card, except Cook Clock, or a normal trap when this card's in the graveyard, you add it to your hand or special summon it. So this is like a combination, but it's got no stats. So bleh.
This is good to do certified funny moments.
It is a funny moment card, and it will probably end up stealing you a lot of games.
Yeah. Labyrinth. Did I read that right?
Yeah, no, yeah. It's Labyrinth.
Okay, that's stupid.
It's 2 words. It feels spelled
that.
Yeah.
If you activate a set Welcome Labyrinth normal trap, you can also destroy 1 card on the field, but it's technically the trap doing it too. And if you activate a non-Labyrinth normal trap, you can special fiend from hand or graveyard. Seems okay. Keeps more pressure up. Doesn't kickstart your plays, but
yeah. But this is what you're using to summon the Silver Castle out.
Yeah.
And then setting.
Let's see.
is this quick play.
Yeah.
You target 2 Labyrinth spells and traps that are banished from your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and if you control a field monster, you can set non-Labyrinth normal traps with different names directly from your deck equal to the number of cards shuffled. So
Yeah,
this
it's
this is
recovering grind game.
pretty much. You play 1 or 2.
Yeah. Welcome Labyrinth is a normal trap that specials 1 from deck, but locks you into fiends from deck or extra deck. And if a monster leaves the field by a normal trap, you can set this card except the turn it was sent. This is Scarlet Sanguine. Play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the field spell grabs that too. Actually, does it? No, it doesn't.
No.
Someone grabs a Welcome Labyrinth. I don't
No.
remember. Fair Welcome Labyrinth is a normal trap that when a monster declares an attack while you have a fiend, target a card in the field, negate the attack, destroy the target, set a non-Labyrinth normal trap from hand or deck, and fuck the opponent's wife in front of him. Okay, look. Setting attack declare traps is funny, but I don't know if it's viable since they can still be destroyed and the opponent will know where it is.
Oh no, this sets just a non-Labyrinth trap. You can set anything.
Even trap trick. So you just get the trap.
Set. I think
This is
the goal of Tactical Masters is just to annoy your opponent.
Yeah, it's like, because, like, Mr. Rune is just like, eat your deck. This doesn't let you play, and Valiants make you read Valiants.
The suffering is real. And then finally there's a Labyrinth Barrage, which if you activate a set normal trap, this card's effect becomes that card's effect. So you can double up on effects. I can't think of many cards that would actually...
Wait. It stops the opponent from taking effect damage, because they know what you're going to do.
Oh yeah, they know straight away that you're going to activate Magical Explosion, but it's fine. Because, like, if it wasn't for the burn clause, you'd be using it for burn effects, but I can't think of anything else really. You could double up on Reckless Greed, I guess, but that's not very good.
Actually, that's really funny. Shit.
I think it does it just take just the effect? I don't think it would. Not that it would matter because you still locked out drawing.
So yeah, losing your draw phase is not part of the cost. It's part of the effect, I think.
Okay.
So you just, yeah. And the last one is Archfiend Glitch, which lets you, if you control a fiend, target a card in the field, destroy it, then you can mill a fiend. Did someone say double disruption with BA? Because I sure did.
Hey, wait, is this part of Tactical Masters?
I think it is Archfiend Glitch. Yeah, that's that's.
No, it's got them on the artwork, but I don't think it's.
Well, it's a new card, so it's.
I think this might be
part of them.
I think this might be part of the elements.
No, this is. I'm looking at it on the Yu-Gi org right now. It's a Daemon Glitch, Archfiend Glitch, Deck Builder Tactical Masters number 26, right after Labyrinth Barrage. I should also note a lot of the card art has like this cute little knight, like doing stuff, like beating the shit out of the fucking Labyrinth members.
Yeah, this is what threw me off, because like the artwork is just completely different. It looks like it's like Laundry Trap, where it's got Dragon Maids on it, but it's not necessarily a Dragon Maid card.
She's on her way to get a kiss.
Okay. But yeah, these are the Labyrinth cards. They're all right. They'll never capture the lightning in the bottle that was
No, they've had results in Japan already.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't think they've been huge, but they've had some decent results, I think.
Better than Altergeist?
Probably not, but I think these will still end up being pretty alright nonetheless. But yeah, I do want to say one more thing. Welcome Labyrinth actually has really good, intricate, detailed art, and then it immediately goes to like the chibi art, where it's like, all right, time to fuck them up. It's like, it's such a weird divide.
Yeah, well, it's just the what do you call it? It's the dichotomy between what the creator wants you to see and what you see as the player.
This is what the establishment fears.
Speaking of fearing things, there is one more.
Valiants 4 or the Land of the Beginning. Do you want to do me the honors of reading this?
Add 1 Valiant's field spell from your deck to your hand. Then you can destroy 1 Pendulum monster card you control, and if you do, add 1 Senate Switch from your deck to your hand. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, place 1 face-up Valiant's Pendulum monster in your extra deck in your Pendulum zone. You can only use each effect of Valiant's via Land of Beginning once per turn. Senate
I cannot
Switch,
physically be mad at this card.
Senate Switch was released in Cyberdark Impact, which introduced columns as a prominent mechanic.
And then drop them.
Instantly. Now they tried it again with links, and now they're desperate. We are gonna make you move these cards out of these columns, and we have just the card to make you do this.
This is the kind of shit I love in this game, though. A card that is maligned for being fucking useless in one of the worst sets ever made from 2007 is brought back to the forefront as an actual useful piece of support for a deck because they've all of a sudden centered their entire gimmick around it like fucking psychopaths. This is the worst and best game in the world, and I will not be told otherwise.
I personally am in the camp of believing that it was just done purely out of spite. Spite. They'll never get over. They'll never get over how badly Senate Switch was shunned.
You will play the Senate Switch. You will use the Pendulum Zone. I just physically cannot be mad at this card. This is such a fucking. This is like 5-dimensional chess they're doing here, and that is fucking amazing. I love this shit.
It's not 5-dimensional chess. It's Senate. and that concludes Tactical Masters. So what I said about Konami not really giving their deck build packs a fair shake in regards to things like Grand Creators and then like taking forever to finish their archetypes doesn't actually apply here. Everything here is complete and works, which really annoys me.
It's so complete they had to put Senate Switch into one of them.
We had to like put the finishing touch on top.
They need something! What else? They already do everything! Senate Switch.
They said it couldn't be done.
They said it couldn't be done.
Oh, I hate Senate Switch so much.
It's so funny. But next up is... Let's go to the other scale of things. Let's go from a very good set to Pyroxene Duelists.
Ooh, uh-oh, stinky.
Amazoness. Again, stop double dipping. Also, these are bad. It's the Tyler sisters.
It's not the same Amazoness, though. You fool. You absolute imbecile.
I'm going to drink bleach.
Do it.
I'm going to bleach Amazoness cards. Amazoness Kaiserin is a level 10 Earth Warrior fusion with 3200 attack and needs an Amazoness fusion and an Amazoness monster. If she's fusion summoned, she spits out an Amazoness from deck. Your opponent cannot target or destroy other Amazonesses, and if she was fusion summoned with Queen or Empress, she can make 2 attacks. She was so close to greatness, but got fucked in every hole. If her conditions to summon were easier, or her protection extended to herself, she'd be a fantastic thing to focus on. But no. God forbid we have a 3-card fucking combo that's still outed by droplets.
Lol. Lamau.
It's...
The pain continues, though.
Amazoness King Liger is a level 9 Beast Fusion with 2900 attack and needs a level 5 or higher Amazoness and another Amazoness. Your opponent can only attack him, and you can pop an Amazoness card you control to revive a warrior Amazoness, but then this card can't attack. Why? I get the idea of popping stuff while the field spell's up, but this deck can't really fusion summon very easily, and believe me, it fucking won't. Amazoness Shaman is a level 2, and if she's in hand or graveyard, you can bounce an Amazoness card to hand to special summon her, and if special she adds Poly. That's fine, but a lot of this so far seems to really be overestimating how many times we'll have the field spell, because that's the only good thing to bounce. And she also Amazoness locks you, which is... okay. And now here's where the shit really gets stirred. This is the point where you better go to the doctor and get a fucking coloscopy immediately, because this is rancid turds all the way up. Amazoness Golden Whipmaster is a pendulum.
Let's go.
Scale 1, level 5, and pendulum effect is to give Amazonesses a buff equal to their level and pops back row when an Amazoness attacks. If she's destroyed in the monster zone, you can put her in the pen zone, and if an Amazoness is special to the field while she's in graveyard, put her in the pen zone. Silver Sword Master is exactly the same except scale 7, level 3, and reverse stats. Only other difference is her effect recurs Amazoness back row instead of popping back row. These are both fucking awful. The boost does not matter, you will not be pendulum summoning, the gains and pops are slow and won't help, and the recurring is probably designed to work with Liger, but why bother? They don't do anything aside from a stat buff, and the fucking trap already solves any and other thing, all problems you can't beat over. So why?
Because they were an
And now
Arc 5.
here's... Sorry?
Because they were an Arc 5, that's why they got pendulums. And you know I'm right.
You know, Raid Raptors didn't need pendulums. Phantom Knights didn't need pendulums. If you're gonna make pendulums in a non-pendulum deck, at least make them function, like with Predaplants. This is just... There's 2 more cards, one of them we don't have revealed yet, but the last one for now is Amazon's Secret Technique, which is a quick play that Fusion summons an Amazoness, fine, but it's a one or the other effect. You can banish it from graveyard to use an Amazoness in the extra deck as fusion material. So let's get this straight. They want this in the graveyard. They need you to have Poly in order to get Kaizerin out. It is asking you to go... It would not be killing you to let me use both effects in the same turn, because I cannot fuse with it and then banish it to use the Poly. I have to have it in the graveyard in order to get one fusion summon off. This card sucks, this support sucks. What the fuck went wrong? Their first wave back in 2017 was actually good. You have the Baby Tiger, which recurs itself. You have a thing that searches ore mills and gives you like a fucking attack everyone monster. You have Princess, which sets up shit and grabs shit from deck for you. You have the Trap, which is a fantastic thing to focus the deck around, gives you a grind game, gives you a way to out-resource your opponent and just smack Swordswoman into the opponent. What the fuck went wrong?
Arc 5.
Ishizu is the literal last thing I expected to be in this set.
I concur. But these things are surprisingly not terrible. Not terrible in the way you'd think they're not terrible.
They're bad in a whole new dimension. So
who do we talk about first? Keldo.
Keldo, remember the cards Ishizu used? Remember Keldo? Remember Keldo is a level 4 Earth Fairy like the others here, and this is what we were talking about earlier. You can pitch an Earth Fairy to special summon this card and then add Exchange of the Spirit, or a card that mentions it, to your hand. You can quick effect banish it from field or graveyard to shuffle 3 cards from any graveyard into the deck, or 5 if exchanges in your graveyard are on your field. Okay, this is neat. I guess they wanted to make exchange searchable. I wonder what the rest do. Certainly they wouldn't focus her entire deck around a single weird trap, right? Certainly that wouldn't be her entire focus, right? Right?
Read the cards.
Mudora the Kestis Oracle can pitch another Earth Fairy to summon itself and place a Grave Creeper's trap face up in your back row. You can do the same banish as Keldo. Yeah, they mentioned exchange again. That's pretty weird.
Huh.
Agido the Ancient Sentry can special itself from hand if a card is sent from the hand or field to, or from the hand or deck to the opponent's graveyard, and then revive a level 4 Earth Fairy. If it's sent from hand or deck to graveyard, you can mill 5 from either deck and mill 5 more if exchanges in graveyard. Earth Fairies are everywhere this year, and I'm dropping the bit. This is the exchange deck.
It is an exchange. It's an exchange deck. They want you to exchange those spirits, even though exchange of spirit is a once per duel card.
I'm gonna exchange these cards for a better deck. How about that?
Shit. Well, let's not discount just yet, because there is one card here that kind of like makes them worthwhile to play, and maybe not in their current form, but
Gravekeeper's Trap is a continuous trap, and while exchanges in the graveyard, your opponent cannot activate cards or cannot activate card effects in the graveyard or special summon from the graveyard. During the main phase, you can pitch a card to add a Gravekeeper's monster or an Earth Fairy from deck to hand. This is the only Gravekeeper mentioned through this entire thing. I don't even know if this is worth playing in Gravekeepers. During your opponent's draw phase, before they draw, that you can declare a card name, reveal the draw, and pitch it if it's declared. This card is nutty, and I also hate that this entire deck revolves around fucking Exchange of the Spirit.
It's a small price to pay.
It's gonna be a bigger price because this is fucking DM support, and you know how fucking nostalgic it's about that.
I think the weirdest thing is, like, because of how Exchange of the Spirit works now, I think it used to be way better, didn't it? It's been a ride.
Yeah, it was banned because it like enabled FTKs.
Yeah, it did. If they'd have kept that, I think it would have been funnier. But in its current state, it's just yeah.
Yeah, it's
There's a handful of more traps that are basically anime themed. One's Exchange of the Heart, where if you control 3 or more Earth fairies, you send all monsters, as many monsters in the field, to the graveyard as possible. That's send. And then each player can special summon to their field up to the number of monsters from their opponent's graveyard up to the number of monsters that were sent to their opponent's graveyard. So in an ideal world, you've got Gravekeeper's Trap up, you activate this, you send your Keldo, your Agido, and your Medora, and you get 3 of your opponent's big number. But it's not going to quite swing like that, because that's just not how games work.
well, the thing is that like also with Gravekeeper's Trap, I think that prevents the opponent from summoning with this.
Yeah. So
means...
they can't summon, but you can. It says both players.
Well, if it's both players simultaneously, then doesn't that mean that part doesn't actually work?
Then each player can. So I assume you have the option to.
Ah, yes, it's optional. So yeah, that's interesting. It's
so that
I still hate
that's
this.
what they're going for, but it's just not good enough. And then finally is Blast Held by Fate, which is
Obelisk is fucking dead.
it's basically like what Sakuretsu armor, widespread ruin, and then like or even like Ring of Destruction, where you just destroy a monster and burn. But only
It's
only if they declare an attack. Thanks,
Drill.
Thanks, Konami.
These are I don't know. Okay, they're still missing a card because there's one more card to be announced for them, as is usual for these. But these are so fucking weird. They seem coherent, but at the same time, I'm confused that this is the direction they went.
It's very weird. I like the monsters. I like how easy they are to summon, especially with like cards like World Soul, Carbon, Thron, and Zolga the Prophet. So there's plenty of Earth Fairies to synergize with it. And I hope the next card is something like Kelbeck, which has a similar summoning condition.
I just wish that like
I just like
this is a problem I had with the Jinzo support too in terms of like design and art style. But these are all just things Ishizu used.
I just like rank 4s.
I just think they're neat.
I just think they're neat, and this can kind of do that. And there's no Earth locks, so you can summon that Tornado Dragon.
God.
But just don't play Exchange of the Spirit. And I also think the graveyard manipulation is kind of slept on because they're all quick effects.
It is really interesting, but it's I genuinely don't know what else I can say about this though.
And then don't say anything. Move on, because
there's
only one card that we know of right now, but the final theme is.
I'm so fucking ready for this shit.
The final theme is Morph Tauntronix, and we are met instantly with a $40 ultra rare plus.
I love this deck. Morphotronics are so fucking cool. I'm glad that this is going to be the one good one of the set, which means it will be expensive and I will shit and cry. Power Tool More Braver Dragon. Power Tool Most Bravest. Power Tool Not Runaway is a level 9 Earth Machine, and when special summoned, equips up to 3 equips from deck and or graveyard to him. During the main phase, you can send an equip attached to it to graveyard, then target an effect monster and either change its position or negate its effects. This is a good generic monster negate. I wish that you had to equip 3 so it wasn't as splashable, but it seems like this and Baron are going to be butt buddies, because you can make this, you get a level 1 tuner, go into Baron, then once you negate with Baron, float into this, so then you have this. But the real meat and potatoes here, and well, that's a negate, the meat and potatoes, but the thing that I like is that it gives you so much flexibility in what you can equip and where you can equip it from. And it's when it's special summoned, not synchro summoned. So if you ever bring him back or do other shit with him, he gets those fucking equips back. So some people have figured out some crazy Infernoble, like draw 2 combos you can do. You can equip Curse Bamboo Sword, 0 attack Bamboo Sword, and something else to him, and put him in defense position with it by sending Curse to the graveyard, and you can get a draw 2 off that. You can do some stupid shit with Super Magic Sword of Raptinus, Magicalized Dust on Mop, and then Metal Silver Armor to make your entire field untargetable and to make him insanely hard to remove, save for shit like, I don't know, fucking Dark Hole.
Yeah, he's getting banned.
He is such a funny fucking card. I love him. This is way more interesting than Baron, which is just a generic Omni Negate, but level 10. This is actually really fun for a lot of potential playstyles, and is just a fucking nutty thing in general.
It's also nice that he can be summoned with Zolkin, because he doesn't specify a level on the power tool synchros that he summons. So that's kind of neat. I am concerned for the rest of this deck, because they're going to want to make Livestream Dragon work.
Yeah,
which is
I'm
kind
really,
of awkward.
I'm really interested. I feel like they're going to get a Rhoda for Morphtronic straight up, because they always needed one. They're probably going to get an Extender, and then maybe like a Disruption Trap or something. I'm really curious to see where these go.
Yeah,
Probably also like
I think they can't make it any worse than the rest of this set is offering.
Yeah, they need to sell something in this set. Ammunition Chronicle.
It's a chronicle of animation.
Royal Straight Slasher. Yeah.
The hashing slash ring.
Royal Straight Slasher is the last Yami Yugi monster ever.
We did it. We've reached the end of Yami Yugi. Now what?
We did it, America! Level 6 Light Warrior can only be summoned with Royal Straight. If all the Poker Knights are in graveyard, you can send a monster of each level from 1 to 5 from hand and or deck to the graveyard to destroy all cards the opponent controls. If destroyed by battle, special summon up to 3 Light Warriors from graveyard. This is bad.
Yeah, no, I've tried it. It's not so good. The quick play is pretty good because Joker's Wild is it.
Yeah. Quick play spell that sends the 3 Poker Knights from hand or field to graveyard to summon a monster from hand, deck, extra deck, or graveyard to the field, but it has to mention all of them. Have fun going minus 10 billion to summon Arcana extra, you fucks.
Yeah, Arcana extra Joker, Arcana Triumph Joker. It's a shame that it doesn't do anything else, but, you know, whatever. It's just nice to get all this Yugi support out of the way.
Dyna Base is Dyna Cringe. Next.
I don't even know what's in this set. Like,
yeah, Dyna Base is level 4 Earth Machine that can be special summoned if your life points are lower than your opponent's and can fusion summon using itself. This is a Dynamorphia card. Dyna Tank is a bad level 7 Earth Machine fusion that needs a machine and a dino. Gains attack equal to the dino but has no attack. If it's targeted, you can target another card, and if it's destroyed by the opponent, summon a dino from graveyard. This does nothing and it sucks. Fuck you. G-Spot Golems!
G-Golems, these actually surprised me. I was like, what the hell is a G-Golem? Yeah. But then I found out it's from the Vrains, which is...
And then they fought, and it was really cool.
But yeah, no, these things are pretty radical. I like them as a generic Earth Link strategy. They seem to be...
This has been Year of the Earth.
It really is.
But yeah, G-Golem Rockhammer is level 6 Earth Cyburst, and if it's in your hand, you can pitch a Cyburst to lower its level by 2. You contribute him to special summon 3 fucking tokens and Cyburst Lock. This is good, but Cyburst Soups needs its normal summon.
Yeah, it's understandable that it Cyburst locks you, because tokens are scary.
Man, tokens were scary!
And then Pebble Dog seems to be the heart and the soul of the main deck.
Yeah. Level 2 Earth Cyburst, that when summoned can either summon or grab a Pebble Dog from deck and Cyburst Lock. If sent from hand to graveyard, you can add a G-Golem card.
He's a good boy.
It's good, even, searches itself. It might not be used in Cyber Soup due to the investment needed, but it's still good.
Good dog.
Bark bark. G-Golem Crystal Heart is water?
It's the Marincess Crystal Heart, but without the strange water dragon thing.
I know, but it being water is kind of not good for this deck. Points down and left, and is a Cyburst that needs 2 Cybursts. You can target an Earth Link in the graveyard to special summon it to your zone this card points to, and give itself a counter. An Earth Co-Link to this gains 600 attack for each counter, can make a second attack, and gains piercing. This will be important. Stubborn Menhir is an Earth 2 Cyber's Link. Needs 2 Earth, and if special from the graveyard, can target an Earth that can be normal summoned or set in your graveyard and either add it to your hand, or special summon it with effects negated and banish it when it leaves the field.
Cool.
Yeah. Invalid Dolmen. Sorry. Hold on. Gee whiz. Invalid Dolmen is a link 3 with 2,800 attack, top, left, right links, and cold link monsters you control are unaffected by effects activated on your opponent's field. Your opponent's monsters must attack this card. You can discard a Cyberse to draw one, and if this cold link card is destroyed, you can negate all face-up cards your opponent controls.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and it gets better. Dignified Trilithon is a link 4 with 3,200 attack, and your opponent's monsters must attack this. If it battles an opponent's monster, you can make it lose 200 attack and have its effects negated. Then you can negate and destroy one card or effect that targets a link you control. I mean, you can negate and destroy one card or effect that targets a link you control at any time as a hard once per turn, I think. But this with Invalid Dolmen makes it that the opponent cannot attack you. And if you have Crystal Heart, you can get a second attack. You can get piercing on these fuckers. They are nutty. I don't know how to set them up, but they are fucking cool.
Yeah, I think it's almost a bit of a shame that these guys weren't released during Vrains, because these would have gone down a treat, I think.
Yeah. I think they need more main deck stuff, but as is, they're pretty... Mamma mia.
The spell is also pretty interesting, because it still counts as a G-Golem card, but Gravity Balance is basically like... You could special summon 2 Earth monsters with the same name that are banished or in your graveyard in defense position, but you just change their attack defense to 0. This is the closest thing to that Goki spell that revives 2 that we'll ever get in another card form. There's no restrictions on this.
Yeah, no, the only thing is that you need 2 dead Earths with like the same name. It's really good. This is a really good base for future development. I like these a lot.
Yeah, I assume there's more cards.
I think that's it for G Golems, but there might be more.
Yeah, well, they
there's
throw a bone every now and again.
Yeah, there's also Hidden Arsenal. This set's bad.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to spend too long talking about this because we've been here for a while, and I don't think anyone needs to be told how bad Hidden Arsenal was. Season 2 though, baby, let's go.
Yeah, shit. I mean, cheap Gem Knights will be fun. Yeah, we got some imports like Trinity Guizarm, Pile Arm Dragon the Arm Dragon, Deep Sea Repertoire. These are fine, but no one is going to use most of them, save for me. They're also all secret rares, which are 1 out of 7 per set. Cool, great. And then there's secret reprints like Power Tool Dragon, Armory Arm, and Formula Synchron, and an Ultra of Red Eyes fucking Black Dragon, and Skill Drain, which is the only good card in this entire set. In terms of Ultras, Dragunity, Naturian, Ice Barrier got slapped hard, while Fabled and Allies of Justice were pretty much ignored. Same for Mist Valley. And the problem with Hidden Arsenal is, of course, it was bad even at the time of release.
The problem with Hidden Arsenal is it's Hidden Arsenal.
Yeah. Like, Allies of Justice, Mist Valley, and Naturia have not gotten shit for years. Neither have Flamvel. Flamvel got exactly 1 card years ago. And none of these decks are good. None of these can function. Dragunity can function. Ice Barrier is in a better place now. Fucking Fabled got some shit recently. Those can all function fine. But the rest of this is just abysmal. The only thing worthwhile in this set is, like, the dice.
Yeah.
Don't buy singles. Buy the dice.
Buy the dice. Good.
That's how bad this is.
Good.
Don't even buy singles.
Good dice. Don't think about this set.
Yeah.
Moving.
And then there's OTS Pack 18 with Quaggar Hercules. That's all.
Yeah, not a lot was good in that one that just comes off the top of my head. Yeah, no. Cool.
Yeah. Then there's the Crystal Beast structure deck, which we actually just got confirmed to come over here. With another Rainbow Dragon retrain.
And another one. What does it do? What does it do though?
Shuffles itself into the deck! Yay! Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive is a mouthful and another fusion. And during a duel where you special summon an Ultimate Crystal monster, you can banish that Ultimate Crystal monster plus 7 Crystal Beasts from hand or graveyard. I don't know if you can control them too, I forget. If 7 or more Crystal Beasts with different names are banished, he gains a whopping 7,000 to his 4,000, and if he hasn't battled, can quickly tribute himself to shuffle everything into the deck, then special summon as many banished Crystal Beasts as possible. It's nice as a board breaker if you could make it. Making their older fusion or the original, like, Crystal, like, Rainbow Dragon is a pretty hard task to do, especially without wading through other shit first.
Yeah, I love that they've still not addressed the issue of how the fuck do you make Rainbow Dragon.
They haven't addressed the issue of why do the boss monsters all fucking kill themselves. It's like cutting your wrist to drown the opponent in your blood.
That sounds pretty metal, to be honest with you. You could have made that sound less cool.
You know, fine. Let's talk about the assorted crap now. Red Eye's Black Meteor Dragon is level 6 Dark Dragon and can pitch a level 5 or higher normal from deck or hand to graveyard in order to summon itself and increase its level by 1. Also, except the turn he was sent to the graveyard, you can banish him to search Red Eye's Fusion. Why?
He's not bad, but he's not the best Red Eyes card to be announced recently though. They got another one.
Did they? I forget.
Yeah, so there's Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon, which is basically he just exists to be a better target for Meteor Black Comet Dragon. But however, we also have Red Eyes Soul, and this guy either comes Red Eyes Black Dragon on the field or graveyard, and if you find special summons a monster, send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, special summon Red Eyes from your hand or deck. You won't be doing that. But once per duel, you can target one Red Eyes Black Dragon in your monster zone, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack.
Oh, good. Burn.
This now makes the Red Eyes FTK require one less Inferno Fire Blast.
That's not what I wanted to hear today, Reggie.
Tough. It's now way more consistent to FTK, and Red Eyes has some form of an identity back.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Angel of Blue Tears is a normal spell that can target a face-up monster on the field, and the opponent of that monster's controller takes damage equal to the number of... Is this even worth reading? No.
No. I think we just start skipping. Is that the one that like doesn't even mention... It's the Trickstar lady that doesn't even mention Trickstar, right?
Yeah, so we're not worrying about it. Fuck that one. Supreme King's Soul is actually interesting.
Oh god, the Supreme King
trap
stuff's amazing.
Yeah, it allows you to pay half your life points to special summon Zark from your extra deck, but its effects are negated, and it returns to the extra deck during the end phase of the next turn. When the opponent activates a spell card or effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard and one Supreme King Zark you control in order to special summon one each of the 4 summoned dragons from deck, extra deck, and or graveyard. This is...
hilarious.
That's the best way I can put it. You can make... You can make 3 Crystal Wings. It's not once per turn.
No, just do it.
It'll be funny.
yeah, you can summon some crazy things with this. And I think the caveat is that you have to play it in a dedicated Zark deck, and they were never any good, but it doesn't matter. Play the funny Zark card.
None of this matters. Kibokyo Barian is a field spell, always treated as a Barian's card, and CX, number C, and over 100 monsters cannot be targeted or destroyed by the opponent's card effects, and when you use a rank up, you can target and materialize it to your Ixies. This is pretty fun.
Oh, just the field spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's not quite Zexal Field, but, you know, it's thematically appropriate.
I think the problem is that, like, all the Barian monsters suck ass.
Oh, they're so bad. Actually, I kind of like Rebellion Shock.
You know what, I'll give... Well, no, I'm talking about the over 100 numbers.
Oh, I see. The actual Barian.
Tachyon's kind of cool, and, like, Masquerade is funny if you can get him out, but that's it. There's not a whole lot else to them. You could play Ragna Zero if you were a complete jackass.
I kind of am.
Or the Battling Box.
Battling Boxes soon. Battling Boxes soon.
Yeah, but the Barian field spell, Bariantopia or whatever, yeah, it targets a monster your opponent controls to attach to Ixies. That's why I just had to double check that.
Okay.
Remember a Chronicle Sorcerer who we're getting in Ghosts from the Past too? Well, now he's got Chronicle Sorceress, a level 4 dark spellcaster. Activate an effect based on the graveyard attributes. If light, she can mill a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a card that mentions it from deck to grave. If dark, she can do the same but with DM. This is fine, but requires setup.
Yeah, it's not so bad. I think they're both kind of pretty good. That they're like between Chronicle Magician and Sorceress, they're designed to like work with each other.
Yeah, they're fine, I guess. I'm not really huge on either one of them.
They're just flavor cards.
Yeah.
She probably tastes pretty good.
Brr.
The Stardust Worm is the grossest thing I've ever seen, and is a level 1 light dragon that can special itself from hand or graveyard if you have a level 8 or higher dragon synchro, but banishes when it leaves, and you contribute its special summon up to 2 level 1 light dragon monsters from your hand and or graveyard except him, but their effects cannot be activated.
I think this is kind of like it's kind of like leaning you towards summoning the majestic synchros. I think, right?
Oh, I was gonna do that anyways. Those things are based. This thing exists, but it doesn't solve problems for the deck.
Just adds
I
more.
guess you can recur. Yeah, I guess you can recur it later after you summon it with converging, and it's less of a brick than Brotar, but it doesn't provide the same value he does. I don't know.
Don't worry about it. There's a better Stardust card among these others.
There's also a bad card. Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid, Neo Tempest Terahertz.
This card pisses me off so much.
Link 5, more like Word 6.
Yeah, it's like
Dark Cybers.
you think you go through all that effort to summon the original Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid, and it's not particularly good, because it's a battle phase negate, but it gets really big. This one just gets really big, but you have to like banish cards from your extra deck. Yeah, no, you send Cyberburst monsters from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, and it has to be based on attributes. It's just so convoluted and roundabout way to do the exact same thing that Dark Fluid does. I'd rather just set up Dark Fluid normally.
Oh, Dark Fluid negates during the main phase too, dude.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like someone you can place counters on equal to the number of Cyberbursts. Card gains 2, only 500 for each counter on it, and when your opponent... Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's way better.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Wait, why
Yeah.
are you people playing this? What would anyone ever consider? It doesn't even like pivot into the Dark Fluid, because if it summoned Dark Fluid on death and made Dark Fluid like give it its link summon effect, it'd be pretty good. And it would justify the
Yeah, I
setup,
think-
but it doesn't, so it's terrible, stinky, wipe your ass for this card.
There's a Dark Fluid coming from my ass.
See a doctor.
Dr. Firewall! But yeah, it's...
Man,
Original Firewall, I think, is not inherently bad, but he's massively outclassed by Appaloosa.
Yeah, well, it's a case of just like, it's just the effort to summon.
Yeah.
And it's,
Being a 13k monster is pretty funny, though.
oh yeah, absolutely.
He wins on comedy factor. But yeah, Neo Tempest Terahertz sucks. Speaking of sucks, Performer Pal Greatest Duelist is a level 4 Light Pendulum Scale 8, and its pendulum effect allows you to bounce this card at the start of a monster v monster damage step, banish a monster from your deck, and have any battle damage you take and protect your monster. Monster effect allows you to search a Supreme King Dragon, Supreme King Gate, or Supreme King Soul when it deals battle damage. During each standby phase, each player can banish a spell from deck, and when a monster declares an attack, the attack player can add a banished spell to their hand, discard it, and negate the attack. What is the point of any of this?
He truly
I
was
hate-
the greatest duelist.
I hate the Yuya cards that exist just to facilitate some dumbass action card bullshit that no one wants.
You
that shit's
still
stupid.
take the damage.
I'm taking mental damage right now.
Good.
Okay. Number 39, Utopia Rising, is a rank 4 that revives a number from your graveyard on special summon and attaches all of its materials to that revivo. If you Ixie summon, you can special summon him from graveyard, but banish him when he leaves. He's fine.
Yeah. I think the hardest part of this is finding room for more Utopia in your extra deck, because yeah,
I'm just not gonna.
yeah, it suffers the same problem as a lot of other like hero decks where
Yeah.
you've got so many Utopia cards in your extra deck.
Yeah. But speaking of the Stardust you were going to talk about, Axel's Synchro Stardust Dragon is a level 8 generic Synchro, and once synchroed, he can revive a level 2 or lower tuner. And during the main phase, you can tribute him, go into the OG Stardust, and then synchro on their turn. I love this card.
Yeah, it's good. Isn't the monster like protected by battle or card effects or something?
Ah, no, it doesn't matter because it immediately synchros using him. So if you've got all the materials for a fucking Majestic...
this turn, the monsters synchro summoned by this card effect are unaffected by your opponent's activated cards.
God
So
damn,
this
I love
this
Yu-Gi-Oh.
is just like another way of making
Majestic.
yeah, but this
You-
time
you
he's
can-
unaffected by shit.
But this time he's back. And he's P.U.N.K. Oh, we're going back to shit territory with the legendary swordsman Blackluster Soldier.
Hey, now I think he's neat.
He's got a fat 3k booty, and you can ritual summon him with Chaos Form or Super Soldier Ritual. During the draw phase, you can reveal him to give up your normal draw and add a ritual spell. Your opponent cannot activate cards during the battle phase. If this attacking card summoned using a normal monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, shuffle all cards they control to the deck. This card isn't great, but that last effect is funny as fuck.
It is. I think the biggest kind of problem with this is you have to make the choice. You either add advanced ritual art to your hand or high ritual art, whatever, if you draw your target, and then have the shuffle, or you summon it with the Super Soldier Synthesis, which sends the 2 small knights, and it has all the standard Blackluster Soldier banished things. But at which point, if you do that, you might as well just play the older one. It's superfluous, but at the same time, you don't have to play the vanilla Blackluster Soldier anymore, so it does its job.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is you have to summon him with a normal monster to do shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no harm in running advanced ritual art, the other ritual art, and Blue Eyes.
You're on Ravage Dragon. It'll be funny. Then there's Loli's Lady of Lament, who is another Lady of Lament and can target 3 or 6 banished or dead normal traps, put them on the bottom of the deck, and draw one for every 3 cards placed. If another monster is tributed or a normal trap is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, she can set a normal trap in your graveyard to your field. She's decent, but I still don't really know how Layer and Lady of Lament are supposed to function together.
Very carefully. I think you play 3 Lilith, 1 Malice, 2 Alice, and then 2 or 3 of this. They're slowly starting to form something together. This should have been the structure deck.
Yeah. Let's see. Motor Violence is a level 6 Dark Machine, 2100 attack. If it or another machine is summoned, you can have it gain attack, blah 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 blah. If this tribute summoned guy is sent to the graveyard, you can make 2 level 1 Dark Machine tokens.
Wow.
Someone can use this, but I don't know who.
Not me.
Votus is a level 4 Dark Fiend. When normal, excavates 3, banishes an excavated monster to search that monster from deck, shuffles the rest back in. During the end phase, if it's in the graveyard from this turn after being normal, you can rearrange the top 3 cards of your deck. Fine, but normal summon.
I guess. Yeah, he's fine. I would play him in a serious deck, but sure.
Yeah. There's Casimolar, who is another bad fucking weird removal effect, so we're not going to bother with that. Magic Key Avatar Star 2 is a rank 8.
Oh, this card
Light
pisses
Fairy.
me off.
Yeah, elaborate. You talk about it.
Oh, so it's a rank 8, which is already hard enough to summon in Magic Key, but once per turn, when your normal Magic Key monster or Magic Key monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can attach 1 material from this card, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's original attack. Once per turn during your opponent's main phase, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls with the same attribute as a normal monster or Magic Key you control in your graveyard. Attach 1 material from this card, and if you do, banish that target monster.
Hey Reggie, how are you making this?
You don't! In a pure Magic Key deck, you are not making this. Not without making 2 infinitely better monsters.
This is a blue eyes card.
The combination of Garrus Glasser and Transfermal is just infinitely better than with the setup. It's infinitely better than this. Do not play this. Yeah, blue eyes though.
The last real card is a Sky Striker Shota, who is just called Aileron. And he's always treated as a Sky Striker, can equip himself from hand or field to a Sky Striker, gives him 400 attack, and when he's destroyed on the field, mills a Sky Striker spell. He's not good, and I'm glad about that. Fuck this deck, I'm sick of it.
It's for the lore.
Yeah, speaking of the lore, he's in the manga, and the manga's pretty alright so far.
Oh, good. At least you got something out of this.
Yeah, and the last thing we got out of this, if it doesn't get cucked, is the Dark World structure deck being confirmed.
Oh yeah, this is getting broken apart. I hate to, I'm gonna break your heart right now and say that's how it's happening.
I know. I just want them to make colorless finally. Just do it. Give me a polymerization that discards from my hand. Just fucking do it.
I hope
Um,
you're incredibly disappointed.
don't say that.
I don't know. I'm feeling very mean today. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'm always mean. Last other things are the Master Duel Synchro event has ended. It was pretty alright. People are again running stun decks instead of what they should be.
Yeah.
But I got to run Mech Lords, so I consider that a victory.
Yeah, Mech Lords was like the acceptable kind of anti-meta deck for this, but they've really got to start shit canning these stun decks / not synchro decks, with the exception to things like Monarchs and anything where you don't have to make an effort to win.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
There's nothing wrong with a strictly anti-synchro strategy, but nah.
Oh yeah, Duel Links still exists somehow, and the latest box put fucking Apocalyphort Skybase in the game.
Yeah, who cares? Gandora's top tier now, though.
I know, that's the weird thing to me, though. The skill sounds like inane bullshit. It's like, if you're running Gandora, Gadgets, and Silent Magician, it's like, what the fuck, who would do this? And then it turns out, oh, it's one of the top tier decks right now.
Like, oh yeah, by the way, this just sets up Gandora. Gandora is pretty good. And he's right, Gandora is good. You can't fault how good Gandora can be.
Absolutely. It's a good fucking... It's weirdly good. I think...
Bigly good.
Yeah. Bigooey wiggooey. There's also the Paradox is coming.
Yawn.
Tour Guide got in, not as a character, but she's voiced and has music.
And she had
I don't think
Burning Abyss cards, and that was a surprisingly hard deck to beat.
She also has my heart. But Paradox doesn't have victory or loss animations for some reason.
He doesn't have much really. It feels really lazy. Are you like?
What hasn't recently?
So I was sat there I flicked the I flicked Duel Links on. It was like, oh, starting the event. 3 Emperors of Iliaster. I'm like, oh shit, it's this event again. I'll skip this. There's nothing in it that I want. And like it was the same opening, but then they're like. Everyone it just changes pace where everyone goes, wait, who's that? And then it's Paradox appears like, oh yeah, it's Paradox. We forgot about him. And then that's his introduction. And I was like, are you serious? Is this how we're doing this?
The funny thing to me is that he actually does have a special dialogue line for Aporia, but Aporia, whenever a new character is added in and they have dialogue with someone, because they're so intent on keeping leaks shut, the old character will have nothing to say to them. Aporia will just be like, yes, I'm going to use my special deck. And then Paradox will be, hey Aporia, you want to fucking help me not suck? And that's the extent of their interaction. It's like, okay. Alright, I'm glad that one of the most fun bits about Duel Links has gone down the shitter.
It'll never recover. Master Duel has completely uprooted it.
Master Duel's kind of fucking annoying though, for being honest.
Yeah, it's got its fair share of problems which Konami won't fix now their foot's in the door.
Yeah, I think it's better to build things in because you have more control, but it's yeah, though, that's
I think that's everything, really.
I think that's about everything, unless there was another fucking But we'll call it here for today, and I'm gonna go out and drink grape juice mixed with something illegal.
And I am going to stare at a copy of Wake Up Your Elemental Hero until I like the art.
Until you wake up. Goodbye, everyone.
You're in a coma. This is the only way we can reach you. Get help. If you
Yu-Gi-Oh's not real. Is that Buster Blader?